Unbelievable, but a fact. A stream here. I don't know if I'm ready. I feel like I did all what I need to do, but I kind of feel like I didn't do something. Zoneless Zone Zero special participation video. Huh? Is this coming out? Interesting. Okay, fuck you too. Let me look at my other tabs. We need to close Steam. We can close this too. And how's my moon base? 15 minutes, excuse me. Oh, because of cement. Fuck, I fucked it up. Oops. Oh well. Okay. Hello, hello! Isn't it great to just be able to go live wherever you want? Well, I mean, I can go live whenever I want, but isn't it great to be able to go live and you have no problems with electricity and, you know, isn't it awesome? And you can also turn on your PC and your IC, abbreviations, at the same time. Isn't it cool? Your PC, your IC, and your TV. This is so bad. Do you have anything to say? Oh, I did some autism test that I saw on YouTube Shorts that some other YouTuber girl did, and I scored here like severe autistic traits. And it also was saying that all people who don't have autism cannot score any like autistic traits, and I have severe autistic traits. Well, that's just a test, right? It doesn't mean anything. I'm totally normal, right? Any matter, even if I have autism, I have no fucking want to be diagnosed anytime soon. I'm fine as I am. Like, how could other people help me if I have autism? How doctor can help me? Make me stop having it? I don't think so. So you just left here with diagnosis and that's it? Not that good. Navigation assistance beacons will help guide space traffic. Excuse me? Okay, sounds nice. I should not play other game while I'm streaming. What the fuck is a space traffic? Oh, it's here, navigation beacon. Oh, I didn't pour myself water, that's why I forgot. Guide space traffic, reverse power. It requires a lot of iridium. Okay. +1 moon support, -2 MV. What the fuck is MV? Megavolt? Okay, I should stop. Okay, I'm putting myself water and reading umineko. Ow! Ouch. 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 Umineko no nakakoro ni. Umineko no nakakoro ni. Like, when you know syllables of Japanese sentences, it's so easy, I would assume, to pronounce tongue twisters, right? The only tongue twister I have any idea about in Japanese is the one from Nekogatari. How the fuck this part was called? It's not called Nekogatari. How it's called? Bakemonogatari, right? Because she was bakemono, right? No, maybe. It's being time. Hold on. Nyanyaku? I don't remember tongue twist at all. It starts Nyanyaku, Nyanya, something. Bakemonogatari is the one with Sindhugahara, but right? I'm talking about other one. Let's go. Why the fuck? I click on Bakemonogatari and there was another Shaft anime preview here. Real weird. How to use my anime list? Can I see all Shaft animes? All animes in series Monogatari? No? Maybe? Shinjigatara. Oh, here we go. Hanekawa Tsubasa. Appearances. Oh, it was called Neko Monogatari. Neko Monogatari Kura. Really? Is this the one when she turns out to be a cat? Avari Monogatari. Monogatari is my favorite, even though I watched it first. Out of all Gataris, I watched it first and didn't get it at all, but I really, really liked it. I really like Ogi. I love Ogi. She's so cute. I love Ogi. And I love Tsubasa. Is her name really Tsubasa? Hanekawa Tsubasa. Who's Okino? Oh, Oshino. Oh, Oshino Shinobi. Ooh. How's Shinobu's full name? He shot something something. He shot Acerola Orion Heart Underblade. Fair princess. I love Shinobu. I especially love Shinobu when she's not masks as a fucking child. I should watch all Gatari. I always wanna watch Gatari. Holy shit! I feel like in my Discord status, I have holy shit, in the new year, I want to be a person who stops wanting to watch Gatari. But no, I will never gonna be this person. I'm like, yeah, I wanna watch Gatari, even though every time I start to watch it in, like, recommended order, I got stunlocked by fucking incels or something. Oh, I hate the scene where Araragi brushes teeth. Oh, I hate it. Even remembering it gives me, like, huge pain in my head. Migraine. Jesus. How, like, Gatari is so interesting and it does so many cool things in Bakemonogatari, but then you, like, go to a fucking cliff and jump through it. Why are you doing this? Can we have normal show? And Gatari has, like, all these beautiful graphics and they do, and, like, really, really interesting visual design sometimes, and really cool art direction too. Like, is it so hard to make a normal shit out of it and don't put your fucking insane, illegal, weird shit in? Gatari rant? I should stop. Okay, so Umineko. Took oddly 7 minutes of this bullshit in the beginning. Last time we witnessed Tradvive meltdown of character named her name was Natsuhi. I remember how she looked, but I don't remember her name. It's really hard. So, Kinzo, Kraus, Natsuhi, Jessica, Eva, whatever the fuck his name, Curie, Butler, Rosa, Maria, Genji, Shannon, Kenan, Goda, Kumasawa Bachan, whatever his name, Nanjo, Terumasa. Good surname, Terumasa. Sounds good. Oh, also, the last time we've got letter from Beatrice. Where's Beatrice? Ooh, can you see this row? It's for people for sure. So, Beatrice is somewhere here, and we don't know if she actually exists, or is it like a fraud? She probably exists. I believe in her. I don't give a shit. I don't trust anything that they told me in the first chapter. First chapter is not real. Oh, we also got revealed that Ushinomiya gold is actually exist by having a golden ingot. Ooh, I even probably pronounced it right. Wonderful. A wonderful man who will truly accept Jessica and stay with her through all of her life's joy and sorrows. Also, Tradvive, Meltdown, bring her to concentrate your attention on not being a good wife and being a good mother, obviously. That's what you do when your ideology fails, right? Right? Totally not rethink it. Just change some pillars in it. Was it Natsuki trying to entrust her daughter with fulfilling some desire of her own? Ooh, Natsuki thought back to the days when she had no choice but to marry into the Shiramiya family because of the unavoidable fate. She had tried to block that from her memory. She was consciously forgotten that and had actively attended to life she had been given as Shiramiya Natsuki. And this was a new life she had built. But it felt like, just now, all of that has been casually rejected. Yeah, she having a bit tough, but... you still have time, Natsuki, you can run away! If you're gonna be alive, obviously, if you're gonna survive this night today. How should I think as I live my life? I don't know. Natsuki helplessly rested her head against the glass of the window. The glass, cooled by the raindrops beating against it, was somehow refreshing, and even though it had no emotions, right then it seems to be the only thing that could understand Natsuki. Even if someone showed up here and saw her like this, Natsuki had no intention of caring in the least. But she found herself caring. Because it was her beloved daughter. Uh-oh, Jessica's voice is coming. Steady pace. Oh, it's you, Mom. What the heck are you doing here? Thought you were a ghost. Just like that, her words were rough and not all like a girl's. Instinctively, works of rebuke? I don't know how to read this actually. I saw the word a lot because there is Japanese kanji for this word, but rebuke? I always read it like rebuke in Japanese manner, but it's not how it's supposed to be read, right? Rebuke? Rebuke? Let's fix this problem once and for all. Why my nose block? Rebuke. Gimme?
Rebuke.
Rebuke! Okay, I was close. However, they did so only weakly, and so she had been able to prevent them from escaping her lips. Jessica, I'm sorry. Your mother had an awful headache. Please, let me be. Oh! Jessica was more than slightly disconcerted by the first ever sight of feebleness from her mother. Until just now, she had been filled with contempt for all of the parents, including her mother. But now, not the slightest bit of that feeling remained. All of it had been wiped out by her mother's completely exhausted face. In its place, the words that George had told her floated back up in her mind. The parents are doing their best in their own way. They are supporting the family, so they can afford to keep everything pleasant and have a heavy responsibility to fight. Couldn't her mother have been standing around in the dimly lit hallway because no one had tried to understand that? Jessica didn't like her mother, so she had no instinct to give her mother words of kindness just because she looked a little frail. Therefore, in order to give those words regardless, she had to clench both her fists and wrench the words out from the depths of her heart. It looked like you had... Yeah. It looked like you really had your hands full with this discussion. It's nothing to do with you. Please go somewhere else. Is your headache back? Should I go get some medicine? You don't have to trouble yourself. Please, leave me by myself. Natsuki was not being cold to her. She just wanted to get her daughter far away from her so she could avoid subjecting her to her short temper. But there was no chance that her intentions would reach Jessica. Oh, Okay. Jessica hung her head, looking sad. Looking at that expression, Natsuki realized that Jessica was trying to muster up the strength to be kinder to her mother. She gave her head a small shake to drive away her own unkind feelings. Then I'll leave. I'll be with the other cousins so I don't get in the way of the adults. See you. Wait. She called Jessica, about to make her desolate exit, to stop. What? Thank you for being considerate. It isn't good for me to go to sleep and leave you alone. Don't talk like that, you bring the bad luck. I apologize for worrying you. I'm alright now. I will go. Uh-oh, she's dead too. This was a scene to just for us to feel more compassionate to Natsuki when she's gonna die, so her death would like have some weight in the future, right? At least it seemed like this. Staying here any longer with such a feeble expression would actually make your daughter feel more uncomfortable. I hate this word. Thinking this, Natsuki left Jessica with words of gratitude and made to depart. This time, it was Jessica who called to her mother's back. Natsuki stopped, turned around, and asked what she wanted. But Jessica herself didn't know what she had stopped her mother. Uh-oh! And for a while, she muttered to herself with a slightly forced smile as she hesitated over what to say. She was poking around in her pockets when her head touched something, and she took it out. Hey mom, I, was given a charm today. Oh, that's nice. What was it? A charm against magic? I'm pretty sure that you were supposed to hang it on your doorknob, was it? I forgot. There is no reason for me to have it, so... Is Jessica gonna die? I'm giving it to you. It was the scorpion charms that Maria had been given her by the beach that day. Although she had heard of the various effects from Maria, right now Jessica's mind was blank and it was all she could do to say even this much. Thinking that her mother probably wouldn't accept the charm anyway, Jessica had immediately drawn back the hand, offering it to her. Take it! Natsuki, take it! So when Natsuki came back and took hold of the hand, she was extremely surprised. What is it? Some kind of giveaway? Well, I think it's something like that. I guess you can't expect any benefits from a charm that look like a toy. But your mother took the scorpion charm from her grip. Thank you. I'll take good care of it. Sometime soon, in exchange, I'll give you a charm that was important to me when I was a child. It's not like that's why I give it to you. But, well, if you really say so, then I will rest for now. My headache is awful. Try not to stay up too late. Sure. Yay. I like that they get along here. That was a nice moment. Until you put the charm in your pocket and turn away. She then disappeared into the dark hall. What's gonna happen? It looks like the weather will be like this all day tomorrow after all. Damn, it's so hard to believe it was dry out earlier. George, Annika and I were killing time in front of the parlor television. At this point, Jessica returned. Her face was still blank, but it looked like she had calmed down a little since she had left. Is Maria still in front of a portrait? Nope. She just came back and she's sleeping over here on the sofa. It is getting pretty late to her. Looking at the clock, it was little past 10 p.m. Even if we are going to stay up all night, it was about time to head back to our room. My mom did prepare a room for us in the mansion, but... What do you want to do? I think I'd rather head back to the guest house. Judging by our parents' appearances, I think it would be better if we weren't in the mansion. Second that, it feels like they were telling us kids to mind our own business and stay out of their way. Let's do that, like a good little boys and girls. After we discussed that, Auntie Rosa came into the parlor. Excuse me, there is A. Ice Attorney reference, B. Logic discussion. She was looking all over restlessly, probably trying to find Maria. Auntie Rosa, if you're looking for Maria, she's over here on the sofa. Thank you. Why, she's out cold. We must move her to the bed. If you would like me to, I can carry her to the bed. Thank you, that would be wonderful. Will all of you return to the guest house? Or will you stay in the room Natsuhi-san had prepared? We were just talking about that. We just decided to head over to the guest house. Really? Then I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking Maria with you. I think it will be better it will be much more comforting for her if she was with all of your cousins. You suck, Anya. True. It seemed that, in the shadow behind those words, there was some regret that the adults, herself included, had deeply hurt Maria's feelings. Leave it to us, Auntie. After all, we do have an expert at comforting Maria with us. Are you talking about me? I couldn't do it myself. We'll need everyone together. That's right. Butler, weren't you the only one who hit it off with Maria when you were messing around earlier? As she said this, Aunt Rosa smiled, looking truly happy. Thank you, everyone. It looks like our meeting will last until very late. So I'm sorry for the burden, but I'll have to leave Maria in your hands. Hey, Maria, are you awake? We're going back to the guest house. Maria scuttered something indistinct as if answering, but then rolled over and fell back asleep. It looked like she was sleeping deeply. She's really out cold. It'd be bad to wake her. Right, what the fuck is this pose? Right, I'll carry her. What is this pose? He was like... This was, This reminded me of a character from Soul Eater. Dr. Frankenstein was his name? Is it really was his name? Is his name was really Frankenstein? I feel like it was. Maybe it wasn't. It was really like that character pose, kinda. Maria's body was much lighter than it looked. Judge Aniki picked her up and pulled her over his back. It was raining hard outside, and Aniki couldn't hold the umbrella and carry Maria at the same time. It looked like Auntie Rosa would come with us as far as the guest house to help out. Ouch! Accidentally ripped off part of my t-shirt? Okay. Damn. It looked like, yeah. However, when she heard Uncle Krause's voice call out to her, she had no choice but to return. Oh dear, I have to go back. Is anyone returning to the guest house? After we left the hall on the way to the entrance, the door to the servant room opened and Shannon-chan stepped out. It has become very dark, so allow me to guide you. Perfect timing, Shannon-chan. George-kun is going to carry Maria here. Could you hold an umbrella for him? Yes, certainly. Shan-chan brought umbrellas for each of us and flashlight to guide the way. As we opened the front doors, the downpour was quite terrific. It looked like we wouldn't have any spare time to take a pleasant walk and enjoy the nighttime rose garden. Aniki, is she too heavy? Want me to carry her? Want me to carry her? It's alright. I can at least carry Maria-chan. I'm truly grateful. Please take care of Maria. Right, we understand. In this case, good night, Auntie. And I will see them over here and return here. Yes, please. Aunt Rosa saw us off. Maria, I'm sorry for everything. Last words of a dead person? Rosa's mumbling voice didn't reach the person in question nor anyone else, but disappeared beneath the sound of the rain. After cutting through the rainy rose garden, we arrived to the guest house. If only I'd applied for the position of Maria Carrier. Then I forgot to rub Shan-chan huge chest all over. That's not on purpose. It's a misunderstanding. I thought that if I didn't, George Aniki would get all that. Fuck you. Come on, quit bubbling and go in. After being nudged by Jessica, Shannon folded up her umbrella and went to the guest house. Has anyone gotten their clothes wet? I can bring you some towels if you would like. You don't need to worry about us that much. Thanks, Chan. Oh, why can't I do it today? Thanks, Chan. Oh yeah, we are staying earlier that we would play some cards. Do you want to stay with us for a while? Who had the night shift on today's... Who had the night shift on today's schedule? I believe there is a special schedule for the duration of the family conference. I think there were a few changes, so I will go and check. Wait, if you have to go all the way back to the mansion to find out, you don't have to force yourself. It's alright. I can find out from the servants' room in the guest house. Please excuse me for a short while. Shan gave a quick bow and went to the guest house servant room. The rest of us headed to the cousin's room and put Maria in a bed for the time being. Maria was sleeping very deeply, and there was absolutely no sign of her eyes opening. We got some drinks out of the room's refrigerator and spent some time playing cards while drinking. Oh? Karen-kun? Even Genji-sama's here. What is happening with today's shift? Kraus-sama has given an order. There have been modifications made to the most of the schedule. Ooh, indeed. Goda has been charged to the night shift at the mansion. You and Kanan have the night shift in the guest house. Kumasawa-san and I have been ordered to spend the night in the guest house. We just now had a phone call stating that you are to remain here as well. Huh? That's quite a large modification. The shifts at the guest house and the mansion have been completely reversed, haven't they? Why? Originally, Shannon and Kanan has been given the night shift in the mansion, while the night shift in the guest house, where all of the relatives were staying, has been assigned to Goda, who has an ambulance of inexperience in entering. Kumasawa has been scheduled to stay in the guest house, while Genji has been scheduled to stay in the mansion. However, it seems that Kraus has already ordered that the schedule be modified. The shifts at the guest house and the mansion had all been reversed, and Genji was spending the night in the guest house. I wonder why exactly. Yeah, I understand it's probably because of Beatrice's letter, but probably why? When such a mysterious letter... Excuse me. When such a mysterious letter appeared, it was only natural for Kraus-sama would suspect one of us. We served directly under the master, so Kraus-sama probably wanted to keep us... Oh, that makes sense. Keep us as far away from the family conference as possible. I thought it was not Kraus, it was Kinzo who told you to do it, but okay. Genji, Sharon, and Kanan were all permitted to wear their Shinamiya family crests, one being Eagle as the servants who served directly under Kinzo. Of course, since they were working for the Shinamiya family, they had to obey anyone's orders, but their only boss was Kinzo. Since only Kinzo held the right to employ them, even Kraus could not have dismissed of his own accord. Because of this, they were often viewed by Kraus and the others as Kinzo underling, the Shanat? And in reality, Kinzo would seldom let anyone other than them enter his study. You could probably call this sudden shift change a clear expression of that sense of distrust. Considering the time Kinzo had left to live, this would definitely be the last family conference before the problem of the inheritance would come up. On top of that, the mysterious letter had claimed to be Beatrice had dropped in out of the blue. Kraus definitely wanted to keep Kinzo's loyal subject away from the table of such a delicate and important discussion. If you would excuse me, I will go rest. If anything happened, call me immediately. Our company tonight is special. Yes, certainly, Genji-sama. Genji nodded back, went behind the screen, took off his jacket, and slowly began to relax after his day worth of tension. Ooh, he's gonna sleep like right here? Cool. The ones who just returned now, were they the children? Yes. The other relatives are having a conference in the mansion. It looked like it would drag out until much later. That will be comfortable. It's already this late, and there's the weather. Probably the rest of the relatives will spend the night in a room in the mansion. Yes, probably. I'm only saying this because Genji-sama isn't around, but I'm a little happy I was sent to the guest house. I think. Oh? Why is that? Because you were able to distance yourself from bullying of Madame and Iwa-sama? Or do you have another reason? Uh, I don't have any other reasons. I see. Then let's do our best together with our midnight shift. I'm counting on you, Nesan. Uh, uh, just now, I was asked to go to the children's room and play with them. Shannon hung her head apologetically and made uncertain glances towards Karen's eyes. Karen didn't try to meet her gaze and spoke curtly as he signed. It looked like he didn't plan on indulging his sister. You can't. You were assigned a night shift. And besides that, it is not necessary for furniture like us to respond to an invitation to play. You understand, right? Yes, I do understand. Shannon dropped her shoulders slightly. She had already expected that Kanan, who considered rules to be very important, would probably say something like that. But even so, she was a little discouraged. As Karan turned the pages of a logbook, he spoke without facing Shannon. In that case, you must be keeping the children waiting. You will be able to apologize and tell them that you have the night shift and won't be able to stay with them. Off you go then. Ah, yes. I'll just go apologize. Shannon hurriedly stood from her seat before her brother's mood could change and gave a quick bow and flew out of the servant room. Is this was... what? Is he let her go and play like a little bit? What was it? As he watched her disappear, Karen took a single deep breath. Genji's voice came from below the screen. Kanan, I will be here. You should go too. Genji-sama. Shannon was the only one called. It's not like I was invited. This is only because you're not here all the time. If you had been, you would have been invited as well. It is good to play as a child from time to time. No, that's not something that I need to do. A human child may have a need to play, but we are furniture. Is it so? Nesan is also furniture. Even if she preferred to be a person, it would only hurt her later. I understand that, so I try not to get too close to people. So basically, Ushinomiya household literally make everybody miserable? Miserable because insane, just miserable, oh, double miserable. She's miserable too. We don't know, but he probably too. Butler is the only one who's like okay with this. Rosa is miserable, Maria is miserable because Rosa fucking has Ushinomiya responsibility and takes it onto Maria. Nanjo is not a part of a family. Genji, meh. Shan and Kenan were considered miserable. Oh, Genji is miserable too because he's like insane. Because he's like, oh yeah, my life belongs to you, Kinzo. Yeah, fuck you, Genji. Oh, Goda is not miserable. Goda is like serving. But he's not under Shinomiya, like, main family. He's just like a servant and he doesn't say that he's fucking furniture. Oh, Kumasawa seemed to be fine though. But she's part-timer, okay? Part-timer. Experienced servant. Part-timer. Employed as a chief. Yeah. All who has Ushinomiya crest are kinda meh. Look at this, like, thingies on his collar on the opposite side of a crest. Like, look at them. He stole them from Kiryu, like, literally copycat. What is this? Is she like sew her jacket and was like, yeah, butler, do you want to match with the colors? That would be cute. Okay. Even if she pretended to be a person, it's only hard to later understand that, so try not to get too close to people. Yeah, you're gonna die today, so you could go out and fucking play cards with people. Genji did not say anything after that. A few moments passed, and then he stood up, used a pot of hot water to make some hot chocolate from powder, and served it to Karen as well. Holy crap, seriously? I did not know that. Keep it down, dumbass. You'll wake up Maria. Butler was so surprised that he yelled obnoxiously and scattered his cards everywhere. His voice caused Maria to turn over once, but she soon fell back into a deep sleep. Jessica gave him a job, but he lowered his voice. No, but yeah, now that you said that, they really... No. I drank too much milk. They said they really did have that kind of atmosphere, didn't they? Ah, now I see the George Aniki. Oh, are you gossiping? George could not be seen anywhere in the room. A short while ago, when Shannon has come into the room, George was suddenly said that he had forgotten something in the mansion and needed to go back and get it. Ooh, affair! Shannon had said she would guide him, just like she had on the way to the guest house, and the two of them had departed together. That's been showing sides of it for a long time, you know. Asking what the other person liked, asking what their hobbies were. I always knew it was too much to be just a passing interest. Come to think of it, I get the feeling that George Anki was always been overly nice to Shannon-chan. Now I get it. Gossip. Oh, is it really coming back? No way. Oh, this is roses! Which is the one that Maria did. This was a good illustration with roses. Ooh. According to the weather report, it looked like it will be its worst tonight. It also seems that it won't stop all tomorrow, but it should get a little better. Really? Then the boat might not arrive until the day after tomorrow. I'm concerned that it might interfere with your work on Monday. I already knew that the typhoon would be coming beforehand. Just in case, I made sure that it didn't have any plans on Monday, so it's alright. I may not look like it, but I really am the type who can plan ahead in the schedule. George puffed his own chest, acting proud. Compared to normally composed appearance that George always had in an older cousin, he now looked amusingly like a little kid. Shannon chuckled at the gap. It's no surprise that someone who will soon make his company prosperous is so well prepared. Uh-huh. Well, making the company prosperous really is a tough job. Fuck you guys, what are you talking about? Money isn't the only thing that's important. They are like couples that really nasty when they're around you, right? You kind of like... bleh, bleh. You're sickened by the shit, you know? Money isn't the only thing that is important. I learned it well by studying from my father. Making a company prosperous is like having a castle and leading your subordinates. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's like 8-year-old. Holy shit. My father, who's true to his name of Hideyoshi, really loves reading about the great leaders of the Sengoku period. Fucking history weep. Most of his philosophical speeches on business management start with one of them. Did you know? He's awful. Did you know? Takeda Shingen, who was feared as a leader of the strongest cavalry corps in the Sengoku period, started out with his troops in complete disarray and didn't have the kind of strong leadership necessary to utilize them well. Is this true? It's a little unexpected. In order to unite his troops, Shingen utilized several strategies. For example, when a soldier... What the fuck are you talking about? Another fucking victim of autism. What is this? What is this? What are you talking about with her? Holy shit. Nerd emoji. For example, when a soldier succeeds in battle, he would immediately honor them with a medal. Normally that kind of thing was put off until after the war and they were all rewarded at once. Really? That's kinda dumb. But I mean, if it's working, that's okay. By doing that regularly on the field of a battle, he immediately showed his appreciation for his troops' military exploits, which motivated them in an extremely significant passion. Can he just treat them better, like have them better ammunition and feed them better? What about fucking piece of metal supposed to show? Oops, wrong button. Furthermore, whenever one of his troops was brought down by an illness, he would be the first to rush up to them and take care of them. Things like that. Okay, that does make sense. Takeda Shigen wasn't just the man who led the strongest cavalry corps in the Shingoku period, He was the person who cared the most for his troops throughout the Sengoku period. That must be why all of his troops followed him. The truth was, Shannon was already heard the story several years ago, but when George started to tie his father in with one of the stories, he would always be beaming, looking like he was having a great time. Oh no, she's awesome, she just patiently listens. This is cute. Okay, they're cute. So Shannon did not interrupt but merely smiled to encourage him to continue. Of course, in the capitalist world, money is power, and it is also the height of your castle as well. But you can't build up a castle of succeeding the war by yourself. That kind of thing can only be created with the support of many subordinates by borrowing that strength. After understanding this, when I look at my father's back, I realize how immature I am. I see how much my father was cultivated his character by working hard and understanding well how he was able to build up all that he was until today. George-sama, you truly look after your father. I'm sorry. I'm jealous. Ah, sorry, that's not exactly the way I meant to say it. I'm sorry, I also didn't mean it the way. You're awful. You are awful. The two of them awkwardly look at their feet. Shannon has no parents. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She had been brought up in a welfare institute owned by Kinzo called the Gospel House. Kinzo owns what? Under the guidance of an honorary direction, Kinzo, the Gospel House, offered excellent students to a chance to live a life of a service. Excuse me? What? Fuck you guys. If they were accepted, they would be able to leave the institute and work as a servant for the Shiramiya family. This was considered to be highest honor for the students. Uh-oh. Servants from the Gospel, Fukuin house all took names of the character In On Non. Isn't it sound? In them while they were served. So Shannon wasn't your real name. The same goes for Canon. All the students of a gospel house were orphans. Or, failing that, people who were being disowned by their parents through some special circumstances. Because of this, the students have been taught to think of each other as their only. Is Shannon actually like like secret princess or something? What is this? That's why it seems so natural to Karen to call Sharon his sister. And while only Sharon and Karen were working today in the mansion, there were other servants who worked in a shift rotation named Manon and Lennon. Manon as a devil, Lennon, who also inherited the auto character in their names. Are we gonna know who the fuck is Lennon? John Lennon? Manon the devil? What are those? However, there were not many servants who stayed with the Shiramiya family for long. It was time for them to quit after 3 years. So you could probably say that Shannon, who has been working for over 10 years, was a very rare exception to the rule. Working as a servant for the Shiramiya family was a heavy burden to bear, but the pay wasn't bad after all. At all. Working for a full 3 years would earn more than what was needed to enter mainstream society. Okay, so that's not the worst thing, okay. That was why, even though the students realized that the harsh task working the Shiramiya family was, they still hoped to be accepted. This is kind of fucked up to create a facility only to train, like, servants for yourself. Isn't it, like, insane? It's literally... Oh, it has Beatrice's face here. Hello? Hi, honey. Here she is. Who's this? Who's the guy with the one eye thingy in the corner opposite of me? Okay. Yeah. But in Sharon's case, maybe the fact that she managed to continue for more than 10 years should not be viewed as having more willpower than any other servants. Maybe it was lack of courage to say that she wanted to quit that forced her to continue working for those 10 years. But she's probably rich now, right? Ginzo, who could not even trust his own blood relative, those excellent servants sent from the gospel house, were the only ones he could trust. Because of that, Ginzo would sometimes allow them to wear the family crest as servants under his direct control and have them work close to him. You already been working here for about 10 years, was it? You must have saved up a lot of money by now, right? I don't know, really. It's not like there's anything particular I'd like to buy. And just because you have a few million yen doesn't mean you have enough to live the rest of your life with. But you can go and work somewhere else on this money and have a little, like, safe funds and a little extra money for emergency. So you haven't been working here trying to reach a target sum? No, I haven't. Are you guys only seeing each other once a year? What is this? I have nowhere to go outside of this mansion. I have been getting along well with my lady and the other young servants too. I am sometimes scolded by madam, but caring for the rose garden and cleaning the mansion is fun. Uh-oh. But that isn't your life. Saya-chan! Ooh, he knows her name. Chanel cast her eyes downwards when she heard her real name. She understood that George was trying to say and closed her mouth. Even after becoming an adult and full-fledged member of society, I've been studying and I've learned something. Ooh, this is so funny! I've been studying and I've learned something. A human life is not as monotonous or as short as we thought when we were kids. Really? You thought that when you were a kid? That horrifying thought was that everyone has in their student years. Will the rest of the life be like a monotonous, boring? Oh, sleep, including in dashing after school class, where I endlessly, lazily while away the time until finally it ends without anything interesting ever happening. However, these thoughts only arise while a person is still an underage student or... Okay, as you say. Compared to human lives, the time spent as a student is nothing more than a blink of an eye, just the period before they break out of their shell and cast off the immaturity. The inside of a shell might be hot, suffocating, and boring world. Ghost reference? But the world beyond the shell is vast and filled with limited possibilities. Why? What with anime and fucking eggshells and shells overall? Weird. So far, your life has been spent only within a shell called Shannon. Aren't you making the mistake of thinking that your life will always continue like this? Yeah, Shannon! Break the chains of captivity! That is... ... Shan couldn't deny those words. She hadn't been able to find any concrete issue with her way of life, and since she's never had any desire or goals to change herself in any particular way, she had continued her life idly. So, are you really like her? And you want her to change her ways to marry her or something? And if she and you kinda can't marry a servant or something, and if she were asked whether her life was already fulfilled, she wouldn't necessarily have been able to nod. They have been a trust There. Chugging water. That may have been a truth she was deliberately averting her eyes from. As long as George did not realize the truth, she would have continued pretending not to notice as her real life supply slipped away, neglected, bit by bit. George-sama, is it wrong for me to continue living this way? It's wrong. And oh, and by the way, didn't you break one of the rules just now? George immediately gave a strict answer and then broke out into a mischievous smile. Chen already knew that she'd been cheated for, and it seems that it embarrassed her as she hung her head. Didn't you promise not to use Sama when the two of us alone? Ooh. I can't obey this promise, but if it was an order, I would have to obey it. Because I'm furniture. Yeah, I don't think a furniture type of mindset helped her really moving out of his family. This is really manipulative to make your servants think that they're furniture so they could not move on and you would not need to find the new servants. Really interesting. Then it's an order. Yes, certainly, George-san. As Shannon hung her head, her face red, she said George's name again, this time using son. Yes, that's better, Sayo-chan. A smile rose to George's face, praising Shannon's, no, Sayo's small act of bravery. The way they talked with each other gave off the sense that their relationship had already been ongoing for some time. For a long while, as if the weather raging around them didn't even enter their consciousness. The two of them talked about the many memories they built during their relationship that no one else knew about. Every once in a while, a flash of lightning would attempt to dampen the mood, but... spider? What was that? Meh. But it could not sully these moments which seemed to flush even the roses outside a deeper shade of red. Ooh. Glass break? Yeah, for sure. No? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I have something I wanted to show you. What could it be? George, who had been speaking eloquently, suddenly started to stutter. What the fuck? Are they specifically making sentences for me to not be able to read? What even is this? This is nightmare. Suddenly started to stutter. Excuse me? From his manner, Shannon too understood something. George timidly searched through his pocket for it. It got caught deep in the pocket somehow, and it came out somewhat slowly and awkwardly, in a manner... What? Uh-oh, it was a very small box. A small box covered in a deep blue velvet. Its characteristic shape was enough to make anyone realize what was resting inside. How long do you know each other? What is this? Shannon has been preparing her heart a little, sure of what it must be. But even so, when she actually saw it, she couldn't avoid blushing once more. George opened the small box, took it out, and held it out for Shannon to take. So, are you guys the lovers from the prophecy of Beatrice's gold? I want you to accept this. I can't accept something so valuable. You can accept it? That's not... I meant... something like that is too good for me. Sayo, that is not request. It's an order, okay? You can use your power as... This is so weird. That's why normal people don't like this fucking servant-master dynamic. I mean, at least not literally, you know? Good Depeche Mode song, though. It's not a request, it's an order, okay? Accept the ring, okay? I can't disobey an order. Yeah, that's right. Good girl. What the fuck? This is so bad. What is this? What is this hentai art? What is this? What is this? Why am I so overexposed? Jesus. Shannon, not waiting to show her bright red face, timidly accepted the ring. Where is the ring? Can we see it? It's not here. Can I, like, have it clear? Oh, I can. Do you see a ring? I don't see a ring. What is this facial expression? What is this? I'm so white. Okay. We need to move. Shannon, not wanting to show her bright red face, timidly accepted the ring from George's hand while still standing in the ground. The ring wasn't simply accessory. It was a noble object which since ancient times has meant to be offered to a special woman with a special meaning. Nobody says marriage, okay? So while George could order her to take it, he could not order anything beyond that. Anything beyond that would depend not on an order, but on Shannon's Saya's own will. Oh, thank you. So from here on, it's no longer an order, Sayo. I want you to answer me tomorrow without using words. Do you understand? Holy shit, the man literally proposed here while other people fucking gossiping about his life and playing fucking cards. Huh? How? I won't order you anymore, so this isn't order. But the ring is something you put on your finger. If you like it, you can just put it on any finger that you choose. Shani had only prepared not to know. She had already understood that he wanted her to do. But she was standing at a huge crossroad of her life. Look how late it's gotten. Yeah, one of you gonna die. Let's call it a night. George faced away from Shannon, seeming slightly uncomfortable. I can do it. I can do it. Uncomfortable. It might be possible for me to order you to put it onto a finger of your left hand. You too might be timid and abandoned enough to actually obey this kind of order. But I want you to do it very last part on your own will, Sayo. You understand, right? Yes. So, that's my order. I want you to think about it well tonight and show me your answer tomorrow. Uh-oh. Shannon nodded back. Today was the culmination of their long relationship. Okay. Confirmation that the relationship was long? Nice. This moment had not come as any surprise to Shannon. Oh, this moment did not come as any surprise to Shannon. Okay, so they were serious. Okay, we should be getting back to the guest house soon. If we take any longer, we'll make everyone worry about us. Ah, awful. I'm sorry. I just remembered something I had to do in the mansion, so I have to go back to the mansion. Something this late? Really? I hate this pose. I hate it. George then stared into Shannon's face as he laughed mischievously. He had been through that obvious lie of Shannon's. Yeah, let you leave. She had just... Oh my god, she just get proposed to. She let her breathe a little bit. By imagining how she felt, it wasn't as if he could understand her embarrassment and why she might ask to be alone. And so George, having understood Shannon's lie and all that behind it, allowed her to leave. Good. Now... glass gonna break? Yeah. Yay! I love this sound. Umineko no nakokoro ni. Umineko no nakokoro ni. 12? 11? Oh, time unspecified. Oh, Shannon entered the entrance hall to the mansion with a tottering gait. Are we gonna see Beatrice? Her chest was filled almost to bursting point with a mixture of exhaustion and unnecessary uncertainty that she couldn't easily describe. After stopping for a second in front of the servant's room to take a deep breath and calm her heart, she opened the door. Inside, Goda, who has been ordered to take the midnight shift at the mansion tonight, was absorbed in an old worn-out crossword puzzle magazine. He looked up for an instant to see whether one of the family has come, but when he realized it was a fellow servant, he returned to the puzzle and had as if nothing had happened. I was told by Keiji-sama to help you. Ah, really? That will be useful. I was just about to go make the rounds to close the mansion, but I was in two minds whether I should leave this place empty. After all, the meeting crowd Sama and the other are conducting appears as though it will continue for quite some time. They might order some tea at any time. That's true. Then, what shall we do? Should I remain here while... In that case, Saran-san, sorry, but would you please make the rounds around the mansion? I will stay here, awaiting the family's orders. Loser. Yes. Shannon felt a twinkle of annoyance. Despite the fact that she had come here to help out as a favor, she was being forced to do the job of a person actually on duty as though it were natural. He's a dick. Furthermore, after one-sidedly forcing the task on her, Gora has once again gone back to his magazine and had become immersed in a crossword puzzle. Yeah, you're a dick. You should have at least, said, yeah, let's go 50-50. Let's do 50-50 of a mention. For the time being, as a sign of respect for her elder, Shannon bowed her head, and she left the room to make the rounds. I wanna go pee. Be right back. Sorry. Too loud? Okay, second. Getting a little angry had enabled her to bring the airy sensation she had been feeling until now under control a bit. Ouch. Ah! Uh-oh. 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 Fuck, I fucked up OBS window a little bit. And now it's frozen. Oh no. Can you see it? Holy shit. Now it doesn't show me if my capture is working. Now it's just froze. Hold on, let me go look. To my Twitch page. Is it working? No? Maybe? It does work. Is the window... Oh. Huh. The delay is huge, holy shit. What did I do? Oh, I moved myself. Oops. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I did freeze on my stream too. That's interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. Holy shit, just one misclick and everybody's dead. Stream is destroyed. Getting a little angry has been enabled her to bring the airy sensation she has been feeling until now under control a bit. Besides, she couldn't show this kind of face to Genji and Canon. Until her heart was able to calm down, she wanted a little time for herself, and maybe going around the mansion wasn't such a bad way to do that. Yeah, I thought that too. Like, she at least has time to herself now. From the dining hall, she began to hear the tumultuous voices of her family's discussion. Someone would speak at great lengths and would then be opposite by someone else. That rebuttal would continue in a very long drawn-out fashion until opposite by yet another person. That kept on repeating. It was as though the displeasure was seeping out through their voices. She had been told to go to the guest house, so it would be bad if she had discovered by Kraus. Thinking that, Chen quick-footed slipped by the entrance to the dining hall. Then, inside the mansion controlled by darkness, she began to check what the house was all closed up, following a prearranged routine. Route? Oh, I can't read. If you're gonna see Beatrice, please say yes. She walked down the hall, checking that each window was closed. Under Kenjima, there were no human other than a family, so it actually closing up wasn't a terribly meaningful of a task. I wonder if this game is gonna use somewhere like not reliable narrator trope thing. How does it called? Technique? Because we had all suspicious people are actually was given the point of view right now. So yeah, Natsuki was the most suspicious, but then we go as a Natsuki, and Natsuki didn't know anything about the family, and even more with Natsuki we were revealed that the gold actually real, and then we like Kiri was no, it was Natsuki. Natsuki point on Shannon, and now we're Shannon, and Shannon seems like be fine and not knowing about anything. So are they lying about this? Are they just not thinking about? Because the narration is just describing their actions and their feelings in the moment, but it doesn't mean... that's weird. Under Kenjima, there were no humans other than the family, so in actuality, closing up wasn't a terribly meaningful of a task. Yeah, it does make sense. And Natsuki has called them that the attitude was careless. Closing up had not been customary in the Urushinomiya family. The metal fixtures on the complexity-chilled window was still freezing, and every time she went to check on them one by one, it felt like the glow in her heart seemed to cool down. Butterflies? Yay! Let's go! Where is she? Show her! Just then, she thought she saw something flickering across the hall. Flickering? Something like that shouldn't be visible beyond the darkness of the hall. Although she thought it was probably her eyes playing tricks on her, she killed her breathing for a brief moment. And grasping a curtain, she fearfully gazed into the center of the hall. However, other than an occasional crack of thunder lightening the hallway, she was unable to glimpse any flicker again. It must have been her imagination after all. Maybe because she couldn't calm her heart, she saw something that didn't even exist. Sharon resumed checking the window. Sharon has huge Hisui and Kosa? Hisui and Kotaku vibes. Yeah. A little bit out of both, kinda. However, in the back of your mind, a certain unrevealing possibility had been resurrected. It was it which has been pressed down among the servants who serve the Shinami man family as a ghost story, in which the mansion had different master of the day and the night, in which the master of the night, Beatrice, would sometimes fly around the mansion in the form of sparkling butterflies. Come to think of it, hadn't Kanekun said he had once seen it for himself? He got sulky when I didn't believe him and told him he was just seeing things. Could it possibly really? The roar of the thunder gave no answer. What? Is it just transition screen? George is here, right? George? We're gonna go see George? No? Okay, just transition screens? Why can I pronounce it? Transition screen. Transition screen. This rain sure is intense. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Oh, she just look at the window? It's her! She had an eagle on her. She looks like a Toho character, to be fair. This is Toho design. Blink, wink, do it! No, butterfly. Oh, back to this shit. Oh, okay, no dialogue. Oh, that was clock! It's 12 o'clock now, right? Oh. So what's gonna happen? Are we just visiting everybody and like, yeah, the last look on everybody in a series before they all die? Oh, she's here. Okay. Oh, we don't know where he is. Interesting. Little blush. Blush and Butler. Are you gonna talk? Talk. I'm ready. No? Uh-huh. Time to jump scare? Ooh. Okay, not the glass break. New day. Okay. 6. 5, 6, yeah. Sunday, October 5th, 1986, 6 o'clock, sacrifice chosen by the key! Oh no, oh no, oh no. So, who is this? I legitimately don't remember. I don't know who is this. Your bets? So, it's probably him. It's Rudolph, for sure, right? Because he said, I'm gonna die. Before he died, he said, I'm gonna die. Somebody else? No, George. Maybe Shannon. Like, she saw Beatrice. Maybe it was the last thing she saw? That would be cool. I would be glad to die. Like, okay. Too dark. Genji once again tightened his bow tie and looked outside through a crack in the curtains. Maybe the rain had... No, it would be shitty to die like this. Like, can you imagine you've got a confirmation of something paranormal or cool existing, and then instead of engaging with this anyhow, you just die, llama. No thank you. I already thought that. I don't want to die like that. Maybe the rain had died down a tiny bit since the previous night, but it didn't look like the thick rain clouds were planning to let any trace of the morning sun get by. The morning was dim and far from refreshing. As expected, it doesn't seem like it will stop today. My apologies for keeping you waiting, Genji-sama. Clemens finished checking his appearance and exited the washroom. In a normal schedule, it was rare for anyone to have to suffer going straight from a midnight shift to a morning shift. It was a special system for just the 2 days of the family conference. And then, as long as the typhoon didn't leave today, the relative stay on this island would last until tomorrow. What a pain in the ass. Kanan thought that it was best to be prepared for the special schedule to be extended one more day. The two of them left the guest house, opening their umbrellas. The rose garden has been devastated by the wind and rain last night. Even though they had spent several days making it beautiful to welcome the guests, it was only taken one stormy night to ruin it. Kanan sighed. No, look at this. A lot of roses are in place. Totally accurate. The two headed for the mansion. They were supposed to meet up with Goda and prepare breakfast. Goda has such a perfectionist that he would undoubtedly have been up for some time already and now be in the middle of preparing a breakfast both exquisite and elegant as glasswork. They reached the overhang by the entrance to the mansion and folded up their umbrellas. Yes, this seems like a sequence before discovering the body, but probably not. Inji took from his pocket a bundle of several keys and used it to unlock the front door. Yeah, it seems like really emotionless. Stripped from emotion, so when there's some emotional reveal gonna come, you're like, There was nothing Rikijima outside the Shinomiya family mansion, so there never used to be a custom of locking up. However, Natsu has ordered that it be part of their duties to lock up the mansion from around midnight to... Oh shit! This is part of a mystery too, right? The mansion was closed? And somebody still killed somebody in it? So it only could be a person from inside, but no, it's actually gonna be like person from outside? And unlocking in the early morning has to be done by the servants who had the morning shift. Since Goda would begin the preparation for breakfast as soon as he woke up, the task was to be undertaken by Genji and Karen. So we're gonna... at breakfast we're gonna... see who's missing and who's dead? Since silence has fallen in the mansion, giving the impression that the mansion itself was still asleep. Well then, let us begin the morning chores. Yes. The two of them split up and began opening up the curtains throughout the mansion. If the curtain remained closed, the inside of a mansion would be unable to shake off its gloom as if it hadn't yet managed to escape the previous night. Kanan, following a well-versed procedure, went around the mansion, opening one window after another without having to retrace his steps once. Why... okay. I wanted to say why mansion was so grey, now it's so, like, yellow. Oh, eh? Oh, I can do it? Really? With mouse wheel? I could do it all the time? Okay, good to know. Okay. So I thought, why the fuck they open the curtains and as if the sunlight get into the mansion, but no, it's just lamps. Even with the horrible weather, by opening the curtains, it began to feel just a little bit more like morning. While doing that, he passed in front of the kitchen. If I had a mansion, I would never open curtains. Ever. I would live my vampire lifestyle. Bunny girl vampire lifestyle. Holy shit. That's kind of cool and lame at the same time, isn't it? It's like really bad anime trope. Even though he hadn't yet smelled anything, his empty stomach started acting in anticipation of a scent of Goda's much bragged about cooking. But Goda wasn't here. He was dead. Good morning, no, he's here. Oh, question mark? He's not here? He tried to greet Goda who had thought would be preparing the meal inside the kitchen, but Goda was nowhere to be seen. The kitchen was darkly lit, and never mind the curtains, the ventilation fan wasn't even spinning. Nobody was here. It was still cold in the room without hint of a flame, and of course no preparation for breakfast were taking place, although it must not be allowed to happen. Maybe God had overslept. Servants are humans too. They can sometimes fail to wake up or something and be late as a result. It is rare case of happening in was a virtue of a servant to casually smooth the situation over so as not to cause an unsightly scene, and to make sure that their masters never even notice that such a mistake happened in the first place. Karen took up the receiver on the phone, fitted to the wall, and dialed at the extension number for the room where the servant slept. Question mark? He couldn't hear the characteristic sound of a dial tone. Oh, no. No police for you to call. Karen tried picking up the receiver again, but even so, he couldn't hear the usual dial tone. He tried dilating again, but it had no apparent effect. Could it be that the lightning last night has caused a mechanical fault and broken the internal telephone lines? Convenient? The equipment in the mansion was all worn out. Karen fully understood that even the smallest thing could have caused it to be— Oh, fuck you, literally billionaires, excuse me? Karen gave up on trying to make him up with the phone and dashed off to the room. I'm sorry. There was milk. Fucking milk. And dashed off to the room where the servant slept. But nobody was here. Right? But there was a body! Oh, how long had she slept until? How long had it been since she had woken and started lazily staring up at the ceiling? That vague sense of awakening was not to his it's not to his— I thought it's Shannon, it's not to his, of course. Usual morning experience. Her sleep was always light, and she wouldn't even have been able to sleep at all without medicine. Oh, she's a mistress of a house. Of course she's supposed to wake up early. To Natsuhi, sleeping was definitely not a happy thing. Poor Natsuhi. I mean, she's awful, but I'm still sympathetic with her. When she looked outside, she saw that it was still pouring. If she hadn't sensed a tiny amount of light, she might have mistakenly thought that it was still last night. You know what it reminded me of? For some reason, I just remember the old DuckTales, and not this, but like relationship between the person who has servants and servant is kind of like in DuckTales, but in all DuckTales, not in the new ones. Do they even have servants in the new one? Do they have Claudia? I feel like they have, right? They have Claudia and the little duck. What's her name? Don't remember. Yeah, because even in Tsukihime, the servant was just everywhere near the masters, but here she just wake up for herself. Nobody's here. Nobody's waiting for you. She doesn't need to get dressed. You know, it's more like casual. It's not old style of earning bad word, or really bad word. Sorry, didn't mean it. Having a servant. She herself was one of the hosts, so she mustn't wake up later than her guest. Urging herself on, she raised up her body, which still hadn't completely recovered from yesterday's weariness. While she was inside the room, no one would torment her. Her headache wouldn't get any worse than it already has. This room was her only peaceful space. Holy shit, she's just like me. So when she left, it meant returning to the world of her husband, siblings, problem, each other's minds. Then wouldn't it be better to just stay locked up in the room forever? Natsuki smiled bitterly at this fantasy. She was starting to sound like Kinzo. Even though most of the time she would call Kinzo names for staying locked up in his room and taking no notice of everyone, the truth was that she actually longed to do so herself. Holy shit. I get you, girl. Natsuki gave her head a small shake, and her fantasy was replaced by the rare awakening of her usual headache. Ooh, did you put the talisman here? Did you put the talisman when she reached for the doorknob? It's nice that they even have like a doorknob background. Even though doorknob itself for some reason is really crooked. This is not... Is this doorknob, something is wrong with it, right? It's not centered correctly? But that's okay. Nobody cares, right? The most important thing is that it's here. Drawn, right? The scorpion charm that she had hung from it. Oh, when she reached for the doorknob trying to leave the room, her hand touched the scorpion charm that she had hung from it before going to sleep the previous night. It was Maria's charm that Jessica had given Natsuki. And, if she remembered correctly, Jessica had said something about it having the power to repel magic and that she should hang it from the doorknob. Maybe it was thanks to her charm that at least this room has been protected from her husband's siblings' malice. As she thought this, her mood began to get a little more cheerful. So perhaps it was thanks to Jessica that I was be able to get a little peaceful sleep. Then Natsuki remembered. That's right. Last night I promised Jessica that I would give her a charm of my own in exchange for that one, didn't I? Natsuki opened a drawer of her dresser and took out an antique accessory case that she had treasured even since she was a child. Inside, there were many small objects that Natsuki had thought were valuable at the time. From amid those, she pulled out a red pouch. What's pouch? Inside, oh, it's like bag. Inside was a small round mirror about 10 centimeters across. It looked quite old, but the design of the back of the mirror was very ornate, and it felt like something with a historical value. Which chapter? We only at chapter 10? Which look, at very least it looked much more effective when compared to the other charm, which looked like a plastic scorpion key holder. She had been that this mirror was a spiritual mirror to ward off evil spirits, and she had been given it specifically by her grandmother when her grandfather's mementos has been distributed. It has been believed since ancient times that strange power dwell within mirrors. Most likely, the way the reflected light created a belief that they also deflected misfortune and malice in the same way. Natsuki returned the mirror to its pouch. It would probably be a fitting object to hand over to Jessica. Just as she was placing in her pocket, the sound of someone knocking on the door suddenly echoes through the room. Yes? Good morning, madam. It is Genji. My apologies for waking you so early. I'm coming now. What is it? No servant had ever come to her this early in the morning, and especially not directly. Maybe something bad happened. Oh, you can't even imagine! Right? For example, maybe some fatal oversight has been made. You can't even imagine! Has been made during the preparations for breakfast, and the household would be put to shame in front of the guest or something. Natsuki breathed out slowly, as if getting a head start to the trouble she was surely about to be told of. When she opened the door, Genji once again said a morning greeting to her while bowing deeply. Natsuki tentatively responded. Natsuki tentatively responded, looks smaller than this text? Is it smaller? Good morning. Did something happen? My apologies. It seems that the telephone are out of order due to last night's lightning. The eternal lines have gone dead, so please forgive my coming to see you directly. The eternal lines have gone dead? It will be troublesome. Will it be possible to repair it? I'm afraid that we don't know the location of the damage. It would like to call an expert and have him repair it. Which means that we will be unable to repair it until the typhoon has passed. In other words, the lines will be out of order for the remaining of our guest's stay. Convenient for killing? Will this be... Holy shit, the red flags of a murder mystery is just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Holy shit. Nearly spilled my water. I mean, spilled a little bit on my finger. Meh. Nasty sound. Which means that we will be unable to repair it, yeah. will be issues providing them proper service. We'll do all we can to make sure there are none. Very well. I will be counting on you to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Smoothly. Natsuki let out a small sigh of relief. She had been prepared for the worst, but a telephone breakdown wasn't the kind of trouble she was worried about. But then, even this would probably be enough to spark sarcasm from Eva. Fuck you, Eva. Natsuki gave her head a light shake. All the preparation for breakfast proceeding well? About that, we haven't been able to find Goda. The arrangement for breakfast had yet to be carried out. What did you say? Natsuki was indignant. To her, this was a much bigger problem than the phone not working, and despite that, the piece of information was the part had been postponed. Why did everything go well most of the time and then comes to something like this when the relatives were visiting? Natsuki, because relatives are legitimately trying to drown you under the ground, that's why? Natsuki placed a hand to her forehead and shook her head sharply. What was this sound? Most likely he's oversleeping. Anyway, it doesn't matter who does it. Just hurry was Natsuki saying. Just hurry was preparing the breakfast. What? Natsuki was excited into the hall and turned around for a second to close the door to her room. The unpleasant thing that she saw was silenced her completely. It was unsettling sigh, as if someone had dipped their finger in a dark red liquid and clouded the area around the doorknob. As though someone has soaked both of their hands in blood, it groped the door and the knob. Like someone has wanted to stage something like that and left this mark, and it's an awful prank. Yeah, let's go. She's here. Is she? Why would she do it? What wicked mischief is this? How awful! I also noticed it as I came to call you. I will clean it later. Most likely a vulgar joke by one of the guests. Disgusting. Truly disgusting. Who in the world would pull such a childish and disgusting prank? Natsuki had a pretty good idea, but of course there was no proof. Yeah, fuck Eva. I really don't think it's Eva. So then if she pushed the issue, it would just seem as though she was making a fuss about nothing. Oh, so the charm did work. That's nice, isn't it? Yay, imagine Natsuki would die. Natsuki doesn't know, but she maybe dodged the bullet here. That's cool. I like when stuff like this happen. On the contrary, it would definitely be better for her to say she hadn't even noticed that such a prank has been played in the first place. Natsuki... Some weird sounds. Something going on somewhere, but I don't know what and where. Natsuki gave the orders to have it cleaned and handed off to the parlor with clucking heels. Cluck, cluck. Bad sounds. Hi, bitch! When Natsuki and Genji arrived at the parlor, even Hideyoshi was already here. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Natsuki-san. I heard Goro-san would be making us breakfast too, isn't it right? My stomach been getting all excited since I woke up. Haha. Yes, the food is about the only thing worth looking forward to here, isn't it? It was bad delivery. You too, Iwa-san. I'm pleased to hear that you are well this morning. Oh, this was another bad delivery. What happened? When? I only noticed your message, I'm sorry. Natsuki returned Iwa's gaze, which was fiercely competitive, even though it was early in the morning with a wary expression. When Karan jogged in, after bowing an apology to the relatives for running inside the mansion, he approached Genji and told him something in a small voice. Karan, have you still not found Goda? My apologies, madam. I went all around the inside of a mansion and the guest house, but still... Where in the world has he gone? For now, breakfast is higher priority than fighting Goda. Quickly, take care of it. Yes. Karan glanced at Genji. It looked like he had something else to report, but needed to ask Genji whether he was the right person to say it. What else happened? Never mind, you passed suddenly a while ago and I thought something happened. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. I thought I heard something, but it was nothing. It looked like he had something else to report, but needed to ask Genji whether he was the right person to say it. Yeah. Genji nodded and decided to give the report himself. Madam, it is not only Goda. Oh, your husband is also nowhere to be found. My husband? Yes. I thought I would report to him before you about the lack of preparation for breakfast and visited his room, but I did not find him here. Furthermore, it was not only he who was missing. Rudolph-sama and his wife, as well as Rosa-sama, are nowhere to be found. Excuse me? That much people? So it's Kraus, Jessica probably fine, Rudolph, Curie, Rosa? Really? I mean, only one sibling stays here. Yeah, it's probably not here. Really? Where are they? Where are they? Not even in a guest house? And not in a mansion? Yes. Nor are they in the rooms in a guest house. When she heard that Gora alone was missing, she had thought that he might have slept in or was loafing around somewhere, but once she heard that several of the relatives were also missing, she began to start thinking a little more optimistically. Last night's family conference might have continued all night and in fact might still be going on. It would have been imaginable that they had wanted to cool off their heads after being in a stuffy room, and had all gone off to the group walk through the rain. Oops. The part about cooling off their head really sounded like something Kraus would like to say. Probably Gora has been called to go with them to aid them with something. Gora was not a man who lost track of time. He had to have understood that if he did not return, the preparation for breakfast would be hindered. So perhaps, as much as he'd like to leave, the atmosphere would not permit him to, and the conference was continuing in a manner even this very moment. Yes, Natsuki thought this to be an extremely persuasive theory. Natsuki remembered the illusion that she had felt this morning of being sucked into a continuation of the previous night, and upon learning that the feeling wasn't just an illusion, she once again let out a deep, weary breath. Because the banquet of a filthy vulture circling around Kinzo's property was still continuing. Most likely, they are still repeating the same discussion about the inheritance somewhere in the garden, or maybe the beach. In any case, we must call Goda back, or we will never be able to complete the preparation for breakfast. So, what are you saying? Are Nissan and the rest still continuing their discussion? She had thought she'd spoken in a small voice, but Hiyoshi had overheard her and managed to grasp the situation. Nissan and Rodolphe sure it off, and maybe it's just Yus and Rosa's case? Two of us were so tired that we had to go back to bed just after midnight. I do remember that Nissan and the rest were still having a heated discussion at that point. Men sure are nasty when they get excited. Natsuki snorted, her face still blank. Karan, search outside. If you find Gora, tell him to return immediately and begin preparation for breakfast. Certainly. Natsuki-san, they aren't necessary outside, right? Couldn't they also be inside for the study? Sure, I could see that. I don't know what they've been discussing, but there's also a decent chance that they've moved to Father's study and included him in discussion. I cannot imagine that Father would willingly invite that detestable topic into his study. You really think so? Well, then there is nothing we can do. I'm sorry, Genji-san, Kiran-kun, but could you search outside? I'm sure it would be odd for Nissan to propose that they go outside for a walk to cool their heads, even in this weather. I will go to further study. After all, there's still some chance I'll be here, isn't there? Iva-san, a guest as you mustn't trouble yourself. I will go. I can also tell him good morning. Really? Then I'll continue, alright? But I somehow doubt whether he will return your greeting. Natsuhine-san, were you on good terms with father? I don't know whether it could be called good terms, but I'm certainly that I have gained his trust as a wife of a successor to the Shinomiya family. Then I'm sure that he will at least answer you, won't he? I want to at least eat breakfast with father. I wonder if you could convince him to calm down and join us. Yeah, well, not really. No. It seems that he thoughtfully despises the rest of us, but I'm sure if his trusted nuts he asks, he will seriously listen. If you can convince father after speaking to him sharply and have to calm down by yourself, I doubt you'll even again will be able to say that you have gained his trust, will you? I'm not confident, but I will try. Natsuhi responded, discouraged. However, knowing Kinza's temperament, she had absolutely no confidence in her ability to bring him out. Uh-oh, he's dead. He's dead as everybody else, for sure. Eva herself was treating it like a joke, expecting that it couldn't be done. But even so, Natsuhi would lose face if she gave up, said it was impossible for her, and let Eva go instead. Eva's mean-spirited and unreasonable demand caused Natsuhi's tightly clenched fist to shake. When Genji realized this, he softly spoke to her over the shoulder. Madam, if you would, please take this. Is that... Genji handed Natsuhi a sparkling gold key of ornate design. It was key to Kinza's study. Uh-oh. A study would always lock itself and couldn't be unlocked as long as Kinzo forbade entrance. However, since Genji was specially trusted by Kinzo, he was allowed to carry a key to the door. But if that key is used, wouldn't you also receive the blame? When the master is sleeping deeply, simple knocking on the door may not reach his ears. And when pursuing the master to leave the room, it would be more difficult if you must talk through the door. Please use it. Genji. Until now, Natsuhi had thought of Genji as a cold servant who worked directly under Kinzo and would never work for her. But it looked like she would have to alter her understanding of him. She wanted to communicate her feelings of thanks, but by then Genji had already turned his back on her and was walking down the corridor with Cannon. But as Natsuhi watched them go, the words that reached her from behind were sneering. Be sure you bring father with you then, okay? After all, it's his son's darling wife who's asking. I'm sure he'll listen to you. What a bitch. We are guests, so let us leisurely relax here. Good Eva, you talking too much. Sorry, but Natsuhine-san will leave father to you. Natsuhi left without replying at a swift pace, her heels cracking loudly with every step. Why is everybody... Why is everybody stop acting... Stop being main character when we on the most interesting place? She's going to discover something here for sure, right? There is not going to be Kinzo here? At least I believe so. After all that... Oh no. After all the excitement the previous night, there was no way anyone was going to wake up soon. George, Anki, Jessica and I were snoring loudly on the bed in the cousin's room. But Maria, who didn't join in, and who had gone straight to bed the previous night, suddenly and completely opened her eyes. Uh-oh. Where's she gonna go? As she rubbed her sleepy eyes and looked around, the loud snoring coming from the three cousins continued. For a while, Maria had to think about what had happened. After that, she realized that her mother was not with her and quickly got lonely. Maria left the... Oh no! Rosa disappeared too, right? Oh no. Maria left the cousin's room, trying to head to the room that has been arranged for her and her mother. Paying no heed to the tree who was sleeping soundly, she made... Uh-oh. Sorry. My nose somehow just get blocked a little bit, and it's harder to talk like that. Paying no heed to the tree who was sleeping soundly, she made a loud slamming sound on the way out. In response, Butler mumbled and rolled over in his sleep, but it wasn't enough to wake him up. Uh-oh, after a while Maria returned, once again opening the door with a lively bang. When she had left the room, her face was being sleepy, but after returning, she now looked disconnected. After that, she climbed up on the butler's bed, which happened to be closest, and started yelling and jumping on it like it was a trampoline. What the fuck? Kids being kids, I guess. Wake up! What? What? Is it raid? Surround them! What was he doing? After making sure that I was awake, Maria jumped over onto George Angi's bed and started bouncing on that too. In that manner, the three of us were all greeted with an extremely pleasant awakening. Really fitting music, good tone of the story, consistent. Thanks, Maria-chan, for waking us up. You stopped us from sleeping in after that late night. But I would have been perfect if you could have been a little more gentle. George Nissan, you really are an adult. I respect that. It's almost 7. Well, not really a bad time to wake up. Oh my god. Actual yawn? Oh no, I didn't yawn properly, so now I need to yawn again. Hold on. Yeah, that was good yawn. Music gone? Mama not here! Aunt Rosa? She wasn't in her room? I wonder if she has already woken up and gone to the mansion. She's not here! Mama! Yeah. Maria kept growing ooh and looking unhappy. It seemed like she wasn't simply lonely because she couldn't find her mother, but actually unhappy because her mother, ouch, wasn't in the place she thought she was. That makes her feel like she had been tricked. Uh-oh. If we could have just told her where her mother was, that might have been enough to satisfy her, but unfortunately, as long as we were here, we had no way of finding it out. It's time to go for breakfast anyway, so let's head over to the mansion. Good idea. Maria, let's go to the mansion together, okay? I'm sure Aunt Rosa will be over here too. Mama is in the mansion? Then I'll go. That's right, let's go to the mansion. Our parents have probably already gone here. Maria regained her usual composure, as though her earlier temper had never happened. We got dressed, left the room, and headed to the mansion. Okay. Good. Not a long scene. Because every interesting shit is happening in the mansion. What's Kinzo? Is Kinzo here? Is Kinzo disappeared too? Oh, the door to the study was once again knocked upon, but there was no answer. He was still sleeping, and she couldn't wake him. If she returned downstairs saying something like that, Eva would be very amused and triumphant. And even aside from the whole Eva issue, there was a problem that yesterday, during this once-a-year family conference, he had stayed locked up all day and has still not come out to greet the guest. Even though he was ahead, no, especially because he was ahead, he couldn't fail to make an appearance. Could she convince him? Not so he readied herself and, using the key that she was borrowed from Genji, opened the door. Nobody here. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. A sweet stench that seemed to eat into her brain poured from the narrow opening she had created, and so she was prepared for it. She couldn't help but grimace, thinking that he might be still sleeping. Natsuki entered the room quietly. But he wasn't here. Tell it. Say it to me. Where is he sleeping? Oh! Hello, bitch! You're here! Uh-oh! Uh-oh. When she did, Kinzo, already awake, was looking down out of the window. So, you're awake. Good morning. How did you get in? Kinzo spoke with his back still facing her. His voice was not harsh but calm, and Natsuki was slightly reassured. However, he was at least in a bad enough mood that he ignored the sound of all the knocking, even though he had been awake. Natsuki wasn't able to break the tension. My sincere apologies. I asked Genji-sama and he allowed me to borrow the key to the study. Genji did? If my friend thought it was important, then I have no choice but to listen. Tell me, what business do you have? Yes, breakfast will soon be prepared and I would greatly appreciate if you come join us. I will eat here. Have it brought here like always. But father, this is annual family conference. Please at least let them see your face. You asked me to go downstairs and join in on the discussion of how my inheritance is to be chewed apart after I die? How foolish. Foolishly foolish fools. And they can keep talking about what kind of thing. They can keep talking about that kind of thing as much as they like without me. And if that's what you call a family conference, it's nothing so important that I should leave my room for it. I wonder what type of family conference he would leave his room for it. Just a family dinner? I don't think so. I think his expression is so mad. He's like... His mouth is like opposite of Uwu mouth. This is kind of funny. Would he just go out if they were just eating and be a happy family? I don't think so. He would still be like, yeah, they suck. Let me do my black magic in silence. I am busy. Do not bother me. With his last words came the threat that any further questions would be useless. Natsuki realized that adding any further pleas would finally bring his wrath down upon her. Are you gonna tell him that a lot of people are missing? It's probably what he needs to hear what Genji sent you here to say. It would be annoying to hear Eva sarcastically say that she hadn't been able to convince him after all, but there was nothing more Natsuki could do. Is it so? Understood. I'm sure that everyone will be sorry to hear it, but I will tell her. Natsuki decided to give up. Bowing silently, she made to leave the room before Kinzo's spasmodic temper could fire up. As she did, Kinzo called once okay. Compared to the usual Kinzo, the voice was calm and gentle, like it came from another person. Natsuki, it was been quite some time since you married in the Shinomiya family. Yes, it has been a while since I was first permitted to bear the name Shinomiya. Do you sometimes long for your previous family? No. Marriage means throwing away your parents' family. Is it? I'm Shinomiya Natsuki. If I have a family to return to or to reminisce over, it is only the Shinomiya family. Tradvive bullshit. It was definitely not an exaggeration. Exaggeration? Okay. Such was the level of Natsuki resolve in calling herself an Ushiramiya. That was why she stood so sorrowful that, despite all of her efforts, it has been fruitless and she was not even accepted by her husband. If Kraus had been a woman and you had been his husband... No, I wouldn't say that. What is this? Where are you going with this? What do you mean by that? Father? Natsuki was shocked. If Kinzo's words just now had been mean literally, that would have been more than enough to make up for all she had suffered up to this point. Forget it. It's just the nonsense of an old man. Kinzo once again faced away from her. She had told her to forget it, but Natsuki couldn't help feeling a warmth in her heart. Father, even though I am not connected to you by blood, I am still your daughter. The honor and glory of your Shinomiya family. And everything that you left. Fuck you. No, bring back. I guarantee you. I will see it protected myself. What does it mean? It doesn't make sense. You do not have two qualifications to wear the one-winged eagle. However, the one-winged eagle is surely engraved in your heart. In that case, you are unmistakably my blood relative, and one who will inherit the glory of the Shiramiya family. Some will sneer that there is no eagle on your clothes. However, there is nothing to lend an ear to. Holy shit, why is he so nice to her? Only those who hold the eagle in their hearts are my true blood relatives. I not believe in an honor that I was able to welcome you into the Shiramiya family. Without saying anything more, Kinza remained with his back to Natsuhi. However, Natsuhi couldn't help but feel something warm well up inside her that she hadn't felt since long ago when she had been just a child. Natsuhi bowed silently to his back and left the room. Perfect timing. How's father? You were taking so long, I came to check, you see? When Natsuhi left the study, she saw Eva climbing the stairs and their eyes met. Eva was smirking unpleasantly, thinking that Natsuhi had just left the room grudgingly after failing to convince Kinza. However, the way Natsuhi was now, such a frivolous love would not disturb her. She was not permitted to wear the family crest on her clothing, but she was permitted to wear it on her heart. So she spoke calmly, clearly, and confidently, with the dignity of one who would protect the glory of the Shiramiya family. Holy shit, this shit really gets to their brains, right? Yikes. Father said that he would not join in on the family conference. He said that he has no interest in such of an obscene topic. Yes, excuses. If you weren't able to pursue father, say so frankly. Nothing. How beautiful. I am beginning to understand father's feeling of regret. What do you mean by that? Natsuhi did not answer. Just as Kinza has done earlier, she showed Eva her back as she headed down the stairs. Yay! At least she has a little confidence to stood up to the bullying in her family, which is insanely fucked up, to be fair. Struggling to gather what had happened, Eva could only determine that she had been made fun of and that something had happened to quickly boost her Natsuhi's confidence, even though she didn't have the courage to risk Kinza's wrath. Unable to even knock on the door, she could only scratch at the air in front of it, clock her on, and follow after Natsuhi. So, were Nissan and the rest there? Did father tell you about them? I didn't get a chance to ask, but they were not inside the study. Father would never let them into his room to discuss such a lowly topic, so it is unlikely that he would know where they went. Let's go downstairs and wait for the servant to return from their search. Where's Shannon? Breakfast may be late, but how about some tea, Eva-san? I'll be fine. Eva couldn't hide her confusion over the complete difference in Natsuhi's demeanor. She was acting so boldly, and while Eva hated to admit it, she even had a sense of dignity about her. Unable to find fault with anything, she could only follow Natsuhi back to the parlor. When two of them returned to the parlor, not only Hideyoshi, but the 4 children and Nanja as well has gathered there. Genji, who has been talking with Hideyoshi, reported the current situation when he noticed that Natsuhi had returned. You still have not found my husband and the rest? Yes, my apologies. Also, Kumasawa has begun preparation for breakfast. Okay, Kumasawa is alive, that's good. She said that she will need just a little longer. The clock read a little past 8 a.m. 8 o'clock was the time that breakfast was supposed to have started. The mere fact that the host has gone over the time limit was a disgrace under normal circumstances. Karen is now searching outside. Furthermore, no one had seen Shannon. Even Shannon? Honestly, how many people has my husband taken on his walk on his? How many people couldn't be found? With the number of people having grown so large, it was starting to feel truly unpleasant, as though they were the only ones being left out on something interesting. At the very least, it looked like the children. No, Maria especially felt the same way. She was Indignant, her stomach grumbling, almost as though her mother and the others had left her alone to go off and eat something delicious without her. Trying to fix her bad mood, the other children were flipping through the channels of the television, trying to find a program that might interest Maria. Nanju was sitting on the sofa, gazing blissfully at the children while reading a book. No doubt it was a book about chess. The sound of a footstep came rushing towards them with a pitter-patter. There was only one set, so they realized before they saw the sword that it was not Kraus and the rest, but probably Cannon. Madam, excuse me. Judging by your appearance, you still haven't been able to find them. My apologies. That will be enough. You work hard. She didn't know where they were, but they had to be somewhere on an island. They hadn't put anything in their mouths since last night, so their stomachs must be growling about now. So what could have happened? Kidnapping? As they actually went somewhere, like, in a group? It looks like it seems reasonable that they went somewhere in a group. But what about Goda and Shannon? We left Shannon while she was seeing butterflies, so this is really suspicious. Maybe they left at night somewhere at some discussion with without Eva, fuck Eva, and what? How do we know it was a book about chess? I mean, it said it. No doubt it was a book about chess. Oh, you mean... Okay. I mean, he only characterized as a character who plays chess, so that's his whole personality now. She didn't know where they were, but they had to be somewhere on the island. They hadn't put anything in their mouths since the last night, so their stomachs must be growling about now. They would surely saunter in any time now. Not that he was already dumbfounded, and she had begun to think that there was no urgent need to find them right then. I will go to the kitchen to prepare some tea for all of the guests. Thanks to both of you for all of your hard work so early in the morning. Oh. Not he acting as though the release intention has caused a new surge in your headache, left the parlor. Cannon tried to call her as she left, but Natsuhi departed swiftly. What is it? Was there something else? Yes. I was unable to find your husband or anyone else, but... Cannon sounded evasive. He still didn't know where they were, but maybe he had found something with some relation to that. When Eva and Hideyoshi noticed this exchange of words, they came over. They had probably noticed the slightly strange way Kannon was acting. What's going on, Karan-kun? Did you find Kraus Nissan and the others? Actually, something looked odd about the Rose Garden storehouse. Ooh, something looked odd? What do you mean by that? It was... how should I explain that? Karan once again hesitated. He wasn't speaking anything like you expect from the usual fearless Kanon. Even Hideyoshi exchanged quizzical looks at the display. What do you mean? You don't mean to say they're inside the storehouse? No, I'm going to inspect the inside now. I was just returning to get the key, but... I don't really get it, but it sounds like we gotta investigate inside, right? Where is the key to the storehouse? It is in the servant room. Let us check inside the storehouse immediately. What's unusual about storehouse? Tell us. Karan dashed off to the servant room and returned with a key. Genji left the parlor, saying that he would go and check, but even Hiyoshi also followed. What was this something odd about the storehouse had that just that had caused the usually fearless Cannon to hesitate? It was still pouring outside, but their curiosity over this something that Cannon couldn't talk about won out. While the children made a big fuss watching television, Cannon and the rest dashed off to the entrance. Okay, that's good. No children. Is it gonna be something weird like on Natsuhi's door? The Rose Garden storehouse has place that housed various tools used to manage the garden. It was definitely not a pretty building. Because of its appearance, it has been built hidden in the corner of a rose garden. Kano, Genji, Ivan, Hideyoshi came cutting across the rose garden holding umbrellas. They entered a small path just off the rose garden, which was not used by those simply appreciating the garden, but only by those maintaining it. As they dashed farther along it, the front of a storehouse came into view. What? Nothing here? Okay. Why did I freeze? Hello? Okay. It was a very odd shed of a storehouse, and compared to the flawlessly perfect beauty of a rose garden, it was pretty city-looking. It was easy to understand why it had been built in a hard-to-see place. Even Hideyoshi arrived to the storehouse long after Kanan and Genji. "You're sure fast! I thought my heart was going to explode." "I guess they did build a storehouse over here. But what is this?" When Eva looked at where Kanan was pointing, she was at a loss for words. Noticing this, Hideyoshi also followed Kanan's finger and was likewise too shocked to speak. The entrance to the storehouse was kind of a shutter, and there, everyone there now understood why Kanan has been unable to find words that could describe what he saw. On a shutter, which was completely filthy from the being exposed to wind and rain for so long, plastered on it, something that looked like a strange dark red liquid, mucus, or maybe it was some sticky paint. Some kind of ghastly substance has been used to draw an indescribably eerie shape. The rain had caused it to drip down in several places, like fresh blood leaking from an open wound. There was no longer any point in being choosy with words. A ghastly red substance meant to look like blood. How the fuck it's here under the rain? Had been used to draw some kind of figure in a mask. What? A ghastly dark red substance meant to look like blood has been used to draw some kind of figure or mark, intended to suggest something ominous. Okay. So, two concentric circles was drawn here, and inside them was a design that looked like a cross. The four ends of a cross were widely exaggerated, and it looked like some kind of crest from somewhere around Europe. And in the cracks between the shapes, written closely packed together, were some unfamiliar characters, or possibly symbols. Latin? What a vulgar bit of graffiti, really? You think this is vulgar? Maybe because it's gory you think it's vulgar, but it's not as bad as it could be. But I mean, it's 90s Japan. Nice. 1980s Japan. I have troubles with 80s and 90s for some reason. What a vulgar bit of graffiti. Could this be one of those? One of those magic circles used in demonic rituals. With reference to this ghastly shape, drawn in a deep red dripping substance, Hideyoshi comparison was not unreasonable. Holy shit. When was this drawn? Oops. When was this drawn? Last night, I came here before it started raining, but there was nothing drawn here at the time. We must do something before anyone else sees it. If they laid eyes upon it, it would cause them great discomfort. That's right. Even though it's just a shed, I don't want to leave such an unpleasant scribble untouched for even 1 second. There is some paint inside the storehouse. Let us paint over it temporarily as an emergency measure, then repaint it again someday when the weather is good. Dot 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 dot. Why dots? Genji remembered that he had just recently seen another piece of graffiti, and that it too had been made with a strange dark red substance of the same color as this. So the person who made this had access to the mansion because mansion was closed, as they specifically said multiple times. This must have been... That's right. He had seen it on the door of Natsuhi's room. Karan-kun, let's remove this graffiti quickly and return, alright? Even though it's just a storehouse, it's really irritating to have graffiti around the home I was brought up in. Yes, I will take care of it immediately. Karan squatted in front of the shutter and unlocked it. He then lifted it up with all of his strength. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! A boisterous noise resonated, and the eerie shape down in the shutter began to get sucked in through the top of the shutter was raised. At least for the time being, the ominous thing disappeared from their direct gaze, and they all breathed a sigh of relief. Huh? That's it? Cliffhanger? Thanks to a kids' program they had come across, Maria was feeling much better. Butler and Jessica were making fun of their kids' program at every turn, cackling. George was enjoying the program along with Maria. Nanji sat on the sofa by herself, passing the time by reading quietly. They heard hurried footsteps coming from the hallway. They were footsteps from a single person. Did it mean that it wasn't the group of 4 that they had just left? Genji was the one who had returned. It was very rare for Genji, who considered being out of breath a violation of servant's virtues, to be grasping for air. He was probably come dashing back from outside the mansion. His shoulders were soaking wet, and he didn't have the usual small appearance. When Genji noticed Nanji looking at him, he gave a small silent bow and quickly approached him. Dr. Nanjo, my apologies. Please come with me, quickly. Uh-oh! What happened? As Genji whispered something into Nanja's ears, Nanja's face changed color. He stood from the sofa, trying not to be noticed by children who were still engrossed with TV, and the two of them rapidly left the parlor, muffling their footsteps. Are you gonna show me? Just as they leave in the parlor, they came across Natsuki, who was pushing a servant cart loaded with a tea set. Genji whispered something into Natsuki's ears, and Natsuki's face too changed color, shocked. Then, leaving the servant cart where it was, the 3 of them started dashing towards the entrance. George noticed them running down the rose garden through the window. What's this? Genji-san and Dr. Nanjo and that's Aunt Natsuki, isn't it? What's up, Aniki? Maybe something has happened. They look horribly flustered. Jessica and Maria also realized that something had happened from the fact that Iwa, Hideyoshi, and Nanjo were no longer in their seats. And because the serving cart has been abandoned at the entrance to the parlor. Could have been some kind of accident? Let's go check it out. Should you? It's no fun if we're the only ones left out, right? Curiosity killed the cat. For some reason, what Butler said sounded extremely indiscreet. But they couldn't deny that they were all a little insecure and concerned after seeing the adults run off into the rain, disregarding their appearance. Let's check it out, alright? I need to know what's happened. Jessica's insecure words spoke for all of them. Hey, Maria, are you coming too? Or will you watch TV? I want TV! Good. The rest of us will go by ourselves. Maria-chan, we'll be back soon. Stay here watching TV. By the time the kids went outside, they had lost sight of the adults who had left earlier. But it looked like Jessica had a pretty good idea of where they had gone from the direction they had been running. Following Jessica, they ran through the rain-soaked rose garden. It felt like the wind suddenly got stronger. The malicious sound of thunder began to ring out like it has the previous night. It felt like something eerie had surrounded the island and was trying to stop them from moving forward. Jessica, what's over this way? I'm pretty sure there is a storehouse for gardening tools or something. What in the world could there be in a place like that? Just as Jessica said, a storehouse came into view in front of them. They could also see the adults here. The stutter to the storehouse was open and several of the adults looked as though they were searching for something. For some reason, only Natsuki was outside the storehouse, not even holding an umbrella. She was facing away from them and it looked like she was hanging her head. The ones who just left, Genji, Nanjo, Natsuki. And the ones who had left before them, Kanon, Iva, and Hideyoshi, made this a large gathering of people, but there was absolutely no bustle of activity. When Natsuki realized that the children has come, a terrible expression rose to her face, and she ran at them with an arm spread wide. Don't come over here! Go back to the mansion! However, no, because of that, the kids saw the scene which Natsuki is trying to keep them away from. Inside the storehouse, with the stutter wide open, a flickering fluorescent light shone down. And over here, Imogen scream. Jessica piercing shriek rang out. But that was just because Jessica's scream was the loudest. The same thing spilled out of Butler's and George's mouths as well. Eva, just like Natsuki, spread her arms and with a terrible expression roared at the kids. George, take everyone and return to the mansion. Quickly! Right now! When Natsuki had spread her arms, one might have thought that she was trying to prevent them from advancing any further. However, right now, that wasn't why Eva was spreading her arms. She was trying to hide the terrible scene from the kids. It was her mother's heart, trying to protect the eyes and hearts of us children by attempting to block our view of the terrible scene. What terrible scene? By at least the width of one of her arms. Is this some kind of joke? Is it? I had seen such kind of cheap scene all too often. Excuse me? In manga, TV, anime and movies, I had seen it over and over again. This was just... oh, I love this one. This was just seeing something appear in real life that I had seen plenty of time before in some of those more sensational movies, wasn't it? That alone shouldn't... but that suit, that's old bastard, isn't it? I get it, when that's Uncle Kraus and Kirisan and Aunt Rosa. That... You mustn't, Jessica! You mustn't go in! You mustn't look! That... Is she screaming? I'm not screaming. Rigor mortis has set in across the entire body. Oh, it's been at least 40 minutes. I know that from Ice Attorney. Probably at least 6 hours have passed and... 6 hours? Has passed since death. As far as I can tell by looking at the damaged area, there is a high probability that they were damaged after their death. No, I must watch what I say. I'm a general practitioner. Examining corpses is outside of my area of expertise. So, what does it mean? Just killing them wasn't enough, so they went on to do something like that? Excuse me? Probably like 6 hours. Damaged area. There is high probability they were damaged after the death. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. The devil. This is the work of a devil. Aunt Natsuki caught Jessica in her arms and Aunt Eva caught George Aniki. So I was the only one who could approach the entrance to the storehouse. If only there had been someone here to catch me too. I wouldn't have needed to have this horrible, evil scene burned into my eyes. No, that's not it. I'm standing here, not because the people who would catch me aren't here, but because the people who would catch me are right here. Just as Jessica had said, it did look like a storehouse used to keep gardening tools. A lawn mower and its replacement blades, a glass sickle and a hammer. I saw and some construction tools, piled up potted plant and bags of fertilizer. And treated just the same, the corpses of several people had been laid to rest here. No, had been thrown in here. Oh, it's a symbol. I could tell them by the clothes. That old bastard and Curie-san, Uncle Kraus and Auntie Rosa, further back, Gora-san, and there is still more of them. Oh, Shannon? No? Oh, no Shannon. Okay. How many people died? Fucking hell, I can't even count them on one hand. God fucking damn it. F-bomb. Uh-oh. I didn't know whether it had been one of these gardening tools, which is used for something other than intended purpose, could definitely be wielded with such a naked brutality, or whether some horrible tool has been brought in here specifically for this. Whether the case, the bodies lying about here, each of them has been given an atrocious makeover. This isn't a damn makeover, this is more like their faces have been plowed. We don't know if it's Beatrice's doing, by the way. Their faces were smashed, so I still allowed to like her, right? Their faces were smashed, forced into an expression that a normal person couldn't make even after death. I couldn't tell where the eyes or the nose were, what the fuck, but I could find the mouth, excuse me, because it was gaping wide, the ridges of the teeth exposed. What is this Cronenberg movie type of shit? But the front teeth were missing, and even the cheeks that should have covered, that was all turned up and exposed. The stylish makeup that he spent way too much time fussing over for a guy. He got makeup, so he wasn't just saying things the last time he said, I'm going to fix my makeup, okay? It's no help at all. I mean, I'm not discriminating, I'm just curious. Dad! Sure, I always thought you were going to hell. But you weren't that bad, right? You weren't such a son of a bitch who has this done to you. And Curie-san, didn't I tell you to stop going out with this guy? There was no reason for you to go through this as well. There's no face. There's no fucking face. Shit. Butler-san, you mustn't look anymore. There is no way that your mother and father wouldn't want you to see them like this. Oh, Butler is orphan now. For your mother and your father's sakes, you mustn't look anymore. Dead people are supposed to have faces that look like we're sleeping peacefully, aren't they? There's no face. My dad and Curie-san have no faces. I don't even know what kind of faces they were wearing when they died. What the hell I meant to do? Are you telling me I have to see these mangled monstrous faces every time I remember Dad and the rest? Well, that's perfect. Cause I didn't even want to remember that old bastard smug face anyways. This is perfect. But you know why Curie-san's face as well. Curie-san wasn't bastard. I sometimes got a little sick of her, but she was a little cool. Just like a big sister to me. She didn't deserve this. At least Uncle Kraus is better, isn't he? It's not his full face, just the side. He at least has half of his fucking face left. Better than this. No. Trying to shut out my reckless words, Jessica tried to fill her ears with the sound of your own screaming. Stop it, Butler-kun. Just stop it. Just stop it. Aniki. Disregarding age and appearance, I fell to my knees, clinging to Aniki's waist and sobbing. It was as if I was crying on behalf of everyone here. Oh. Representing the feeling of everyone here, I screamed over and over. Why bother with doing this to them? That's interesting. Father, the ones who are laying over here are Uncle Kraus, Uncle Rudolph, Auntie Curie, Auntie Rosa, Goda-san. 5 people? No. 6! There is one more here, really. Oh no. The body that she was looking down on now was hidden in the shadow of a mountain of random objects, in a blind spot to George, who stood by the entrance. So George couldn't tell whose body it was. Oh no. Therefore, George cursed himself. He cursed that part of himself that imagined the worst, and is always right. So, the line at your feet is Shannon, isn't it? Yes, it's Shannon-chan. Oh no. Oof. Died after being proposed. Holy shit, this is so bad. Oh. Yeah, it worked. All those emotional scenes. Here we go. Great payoff. George was completely silent. He shook slightly, his lower lip trembling. He wanted to run up to his beloved, screaming and crying. But before rashly running up to her, he mustered up all of his strength and asked his father, "Oh, is Shannon also the same as..." Oh, I thought she was gonna ask something else. "Uncle Kraus and the others?" Hideyoshi deeply understood the meaning of those... What? How Shannon was killed? What? Hold on, my phone is dying. Let me put it onto charging. A second. Ouch. Oh, 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 oh. Ouch. Oh, it's so hot in here. Hold on, let me go and turn AC on. What the fuck is going on then? What's happening? How is this even possible? Like, if it has a normal answer and this is like a murder mystery, how the fuck is this possible? Who even did this? Who have a power to do something like that? Can we have like... Oh, this is awful! What the fuck? Oh no! Oh no, why? Oh... This is brutal! I feel like it was in other versions too, right? Ouch. They just. I feel like I saw the portrait being like this before. Um. So who's left? So Auntie Eva having like being the most suspicious out of all now, isn't she? Does it even have a normal answer? I wonder. Okay, who cares? I don't think it's possible. Is it possible? Is it somehow like some of these people came to one place, somebody killed them, then somebody else came to this place, somebody killed them, then like Shannon came in the house, somebody killed her. Like, the last time we saw Shannon, she was in the mansion. And it wasn't like she had any need to go out. So something probably happened right before their meeting last night ended, and some of them stayed in one place, and Eva and Hideyoshi went to sleep. And all of them stayed in one place, and maybe as Shannon they saw somebody else, saw an 18th person and followed them, and then somehow this person killed them. If you're treating it like a murder mystery, like normal murder mystery. But it would be more convenient to kill not all of them at the same time, but all of them in a different time. Use bodies. Use bodies as if it's that game. How's it called? Hitman. As if it's Hitman. To bait people to come to places. Yeah, it's all of the people who were in the mansion, so Natsuki should be dead too. Yeah, like Natsuki also had the symbol near her door, but does everybody else have a symbol on their doors? Shannon doesn't even have a door. Oh, maybe it's like general servant door? His symbol is connected, or did they... Why would you not be able to kill her because of a talisman, supposedly, and then you put a symbol on her door, like you forgot her, you need to cut her next time? But what is this? Can we... Holy shit, poor Maria. Oh, Butler and Maria is now orphans. Oh no, are they? Where's Maria's father? And Maria has a sister too, right? They said it us. Really confusing. Not enough information. Yoshi deeply understood the meaning of those words, so he couldn't give George a quick answer. No, he thought that, to George right now, that was the only possible sincere and loving response. When George has asked whether she was the same, he had meant to ask whether her corpse was the same as the others. Since he or she hadn't denied it means that the body was just as horrible. Can I look at Shannon? No, you can't. Why? After all, I won't be able to see Shannon's face again, right? So, what can I see? Her last face. Uh-oh, her art with her face here was kinda... The last time you met Shannon-chan was yesterday? Yes. I see. When you left her, what kind of face was she showing you? What? That face was the last time he fucking saw her? Holy shit, this is awful. It was a really bad face. It was a wonderful smile. Oh, this time it's pleasant, excuse me? This time art is good, huh? Okay, fuck you. After receiving the ring, she was bewildered even though her heart should have been decided. Bashful. and so embarrassed to show him that face that she ran away. That expression was revived in George's mind. Okay, this is pleasing expression. This is good. I see. Then I'm sure Shannon-chan would also have wished to leave you with a smile. Nah. Ask him about the ring. Is there ring on your finger? Hiroshi looked down upon Shannon's body lying at his feet. Just like the other bodies, it was in such a horrible state that it would make anyone want to cover their eyes. That's so fucked up. Half of the face has been smashed. Oh, why would you do this? And no more than the half of your expression remained. If that remaining half, soaked red with blood, had been wiped clean, that graceful smiling face might have picked out. You think so? Only half of it. Without thinking, Hiroshi slapped his hand over his eyes. How cruel. If only all of it had been crushed, if they were going to crush it. What? Then he might have been able to deceive George's heart for a while by saying that it was just someone else wearing Shannon's clothes. Yet, they had left half of your face. It caused the body so much humiliation and also made it clear that this body was none other than Shannon. How inhumane, how monstrous. Oh, Kanansu. They're at Hideyoshi's feet, trying the best to burn the image of the remaining half of Shannon's expression into his eyes. Or Kanan. Kanan was not crying. Tears had risen to his eyes, but they did not drip down. But that didn't mean that he wasn't feeling as much sadness as everybody else. Losing Shannon, who had lived with him in a gospel house, whom he had loved as a sister, must have been just the same as losing a blood relative. George, I'm sure Shannon-chan would be grateful. She wouldn't want you to see her like this. I'm sure she'd be thanking you for staying strong. I understand. I understand, father. I understand. George leaned against the outside wall of a storehouse, thinking down powerlessly. Father, I have a request. What is it? I went to look for me. On Shannon's finger. Is there a ring? A ring? Let me see. Ooh! Let me see. Let me see. Oh! Oh, so this is Kanan and this is Hideyoshi? Cool, okay. Hideyoshi crouched down. As he did, Kanan silently pointed to one on Shannon's hand. Yeah, there is. It's a diamond ring! And not a cheap diamond. Must have been pretty expensive. And which hand? Which finger it is on? The right finger of your left hand. The ring finger of your left hand. I see. So, Shannon-chan was engaged. George! You go- Bitch! Bitch! What the fuck? You? Are you insane? This is not the fucking time! Holy shit, Eva. Eva is awful. George, you couldn't have. Eva, right now that doesn't matter. A man made a lifelong promise to Shannon-chan. A man promised her happiness for life. It doesn't matter who it was. Being told that by a man. It's a woman's dream, isn't it? Meh. I don't know when she received this ring. I also don't know who gave it to her. But, even so, Sharon-chan took this ring. And she accepted it and put it on her left ring finger. So, what does it say to us? It says to us that she had some time between seeing Beatrice's butterflies and dying. But maybe not a long time, so she made a decision. Because she didn't wear a ring on her finger when we last was with her. Okay. Or maybe, no, I don't think she did. And she accepted it and put it on her right ring finger. I'm sure the man who gave it to her was happy too. To most of the people, Hideyoshi was simply described by this extraordinary situation and was blurred out strange things. But to those who really knew the truth about George and Shannon's relationship, everything he said made sense. Can you imagine fucking Eva being a bitch about this after Shannon fucking died horribly? What the fuck? I see. Thank you, father. Oh, poor guy. George stood up. The traces of tears still stroked his face, but his expression has returned to his usual calm. Nord emoji plus crying emoji. Let's go. Butler-kun, Jessica-chan. If we stay here any longer, we'll get in the way of the adults. You're right. Jessica sniffed once, and trying to say that she was alright, she showed her face to her mother, who had been looking at her the whole time. When she faced George again, she once again had to her usual face. What the fuck? Oh my god, why are you so emotionally repressed? Just fucking cry. What's wrong with that? Although she still couldn't recover. What the fuck? She just lost a dad. Excuse me. Butler, don't lose heart. Butler kept on crouching in front of his parents' bodies. I'm sorry. It took this much crying to calm me down. It's no, you should be sorry. You bastard dad. I bet you laughing at me, always talking shit about you, not crying like a baby just cause you died. It's not my fault. It's wired into our genes to cry when our parents die. Butler face still bright. Butler face was still bright red from the tears, but even though it was forced, he had at least recovered enough to fake a smile. You don't need to do it, guys. You don't need to do it. Kanan, you mustn't remain here any longer either. Take the children and return to the mansion. Natsuhi, unable to take a step into the storehouse, had been standing under the rain the whole time. And they can't call a service! Oh, this is awful. The body's gonna just lay here for a while and slowly decompose. This is awful. Has been standing under rain the whole time. Maybe she had her own way of grieving, different from Butler's. She realized that she had to take on a sense of responsibility now that her husband was dead. So she gave Karan those orders. Yes, madam. Karan rose silently and turned to face them. His face was pure white, almost as though his own heart had died amongst with Shannon. There was no life in his expression. If, during the course of a normal day, he had been instructed to do a tour of a beautiful rose garden, Karan may have led the way for them. But now there was no distinction between Karan and because Karan is a child. They were now just kids of about the same age, with the wounds of having lost someone close to them. After seeing the children go back, Natsuki gave orders to Genji. Genji, contact the police immediately. How? They probably won't be able to come until the typhoon passes, but they should be able to tell us what to do next. Understood. There's an emergency radio, so we'll use that to contact them. When she heard that, Natsuki remembered. That's right, the telephones were off today, weren't they? However, since it has been assumed that there could be trouble with the phones on this isolated island, a radio has been installed. Good, thoughtful. Anyway, let's contact the police and seek their instruction. Holy shit. Everything else can wait. Dr. Nandya, is there anything further you can do here? Unfortunately, I cannot do anything. Understood. Genji, could you at least cover the faces with something? Exposing them like this is humiliating to them. Yes. Genji picked up several towers hanging inside the storehouse. When Eva stopped him in a shrill voice. Wait a second. Stop. This is the scene of a crime, isn't it? Then we can't disturb it. In our confusion, we tracked muddy footprints all over the scene, and I'm sure that will cause troubles for the police investigation. Natsuki glared at Eva testily. He was right, 100%. Objectively speaking, Eva was right. Yes, she was right. Even so, she glared at Eva as though accusing her of refusing to do those tragic corpses, which has been humiliated even after death, the simple kindness of covering their faces. I mean, you're dead, who gives a shit? However, Eva had spoken both calmly and correctly. The horrible state was definitely not an accident. It was a crime. Someone had killed them. It was a murder case, yay! Awful if that people die, but you know. It's interesting. It's interesting what's gonna happen. It's so interesting. In this case, they should be careful not to further disturb the site. They had to aid the police as much as possible, so they might hand over a clue that could be used to find the detestable culprit. I agree with Eva-san. Until the police come, we should leave everything be. What do you say, madam? You're right. Understood. Close it up. And, just in case, we should put a different lock on it. A different lock? Yes. When we came, the shutter was locked. That means that the culprit used the key to the shutter to lock it. Prime suspect? Prime suspect right here? What's his motives? We really don't know a lot about him. That's interesting to have a story just go out and there's a lot of characters that you don't know a lot of things about. Like Nanjo is just a doctor, Shannon and Canon are like orphans and that's it. Kumasawa, we know nothing. There was Rosa's husband, Rosa's other child. There was Butler's first mother, and they were talking about how Rudolph did something to Butler's mother that served a reason for Butler to move away from them and live with the grandparents, which is interesting. George seemed to be a blind character. Jessica. I mean, we definitely know more about members of a family than servants, but still. Yeah, Goddess seems suspicious, but he's dead, so... Yes, when we came here, the shutter was locked. That means that the culprit used the key to shutter... That makes sense. Then, does it mean that the key which opens his shutter will have the killer's fingerprints? I'm sure it will be worthwhile to submit it to police as evidence, but Kanankun handled it just as normal and used it to open this. It will probably also have his fingerprints on it. Also, that key was handed to Genji just now, and he took it with his bare hands. It doesn't look like it will be very useful as evidence. Is it though? Okay, it's really early in the year, so maybe they don't have a lot of good forensics here? 1986. 6 a.m. still. Okay. That was careless of me. My apologies. Genji-san, are there other keys to the storehouse? No. Only this one. Which means that the killer walked out of a servant room with that key, and then conscientiously returned the key to where they found it, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This shit. Hiroshi's theory sounded plausible, but was actually very strange if you thought about it. Why would they go to all the trouble of returning a key they stole? No, if you think about it even more deeply, there are some even more bizarre points. Usually, when a criminal hides a body, they are trying to delay the point at which it will be found and use that time to escape. The actual place where the six were killed weren't necessary here, but they had been killed somewhere on this island. It would be normal to think that the reason they had been carried to the storehouse was to hide the bodies and delay the discovery of a crime. It does make sense. But how much human power you actually need to do this? But that graffiti drawn on a shutter that looked like an eerie magic circle had eloquently indicated that the corpses were hidden here. It didn't specifically say that they were here, but after 6 people had gone missing, by making such an obvious scribble and even returning the key to open it, it seems almost as though someone had wanted the corpses to be discovered here. In any case, a log that the killer has opened once before will not be sufficiently trustworthy on its own. If we want to protect this place from the killer's hand, I think we should put a new lock on. I think it's a good plan. I agree. Genji fished around inside the store box and unsealed a brand new padlock which had been inside a small box. What would you have me to do with the key? I will take it. I will take responsibility and hand it over to the police. Natsuki took the key from the padlock from Genji's hand. After that, they all exited and lowered the shutter. Because of that, the corpses were once again sealed behind the shutter, covered with a gruesome magic circle. Genji crouched down in front of the shutter to fasten the new padlock. In addition to the main lock on the shutter, there is sometimes a place where you can attach your own lock in front of it. Oh, it's a padlock. It's super easy to close and open, isn't it? Oh, it is. So you could not be the person who get through the fucking key and went back. You could just, lockpick it. Okay. This is interesting. This was one of those types. In the midst of a roar of thunder and a pouring rain, the storehouse stood here ominously. On its closed shutter was a magic circle, drawn in the creepy blood-like substance and swallowing up the bodies of 6 whole people. How is the rain coming and the circle is still here? To Natsuki, putting a new lock on may not have been entirely to preserve the scene from the police. Couldn't they add this to the background? I mean, the circle. Natsuki put a new lock on may not have been entirely to preserve the scene from the police, but rather she might have felt like she wanted to shut that mouth for all eternity, to prevent any more victims from being swallowed by that eerie demon. Come on, let's go, everyone. Dr. Nadia, thank you very much for your work. Genji, quickly, contact the police. I will contact them as soon as I return. The adults left the storehouse. The ghastly magic circle drawn on a shutter was still swallowing the 6 bodies, loomed eerily, occasionally lit up by the lighting. Oh! What is it, 9? 8:45. Curtain rise on tragedy. Chapter 11. All that could be heard was the sound of the rain, the voices from the kids' television programs that Maria was watching, and engrossed Maria's cackling voice. Uh-oh. In other words, what greeted them as they returned dumbfounded from that horrible, bizarre scene was the voice of Maria as she rolled around laughing at the television, not knowing how to explain to Maria that her mother, Rosa, was dead. Those who returned to the room couldn't manage any more than the suffocating silence. At first, Maria returned their stares with a dubious look, but then she realized that they weren't trying to blame her for anything. She ignored them and again immersed herself in a television program. At death's door, the children wordlessly sat down on a sofa. Their minds were probably blank from their state of shock. Though they had all cried and mourned so much, now they just vaguely sat here, their faces expressionless. Only Kanan had returned to his usual calm expression. However, that probably didn't mean he had been able to wipe out of shock. Nothing was reflecting in his eyes as he stared into the emptiness. Hideyoshi, fidgeting as he remembered that horrible scene, kept muttering, "Unbelievable! That can't be something of this world! It's the work of a devil!" Every once in a while he turned these into questions and bounced them off Nanjo. But Nanjo, in a calm, doctorly manner, kept repeating that nothing could be understood by only glancing at the scene, and that until the police arrived he wouldn't know anything. However, Nanjo only appeared calm by comparison to Hideyoshi, who could not contain his agitation and fear. In fact, Nanjo has also received a huge shock and his face was deathly pale. Maybe it was because of their attitudes that Natsuhi tried to rise to the challenge and take control. Natsuhi was apparently unchanged from her normal attitudes, and she basically gave directions. "I will head to where father is. Genji, quickly contact the police." "Certainly." "I wonder if you would allow me to tag along, Natsuhina-san, since Kraus Nisan is gone. The task of aiding father has been left to me. It would be improper for me to relax here while relying entirely on you." Matriarchy now established? Oh no, Kinzo is still alive. Damn, almost. Natsuhi was struck speechless by Eva's aggressive action in a situation like this. It seems that she was calming that, with Kraus dead, the one to take responsibility should not be his wife, but yourself, the next highly ranked in the family. Eva, why are you like this? Possibly, she was not happy that Natsuhi was ignoring her and handling matters herself in this extreme situation. Of course, even Eva's mind has been blank from the shock until now. She only returned to herself after Natsuhi started giving orders. Holy shit, she just... why are you like this? Why are you like this, Eva? You may do as you please. Natsuhi walked out without saying anything more. Eva followed behind her. Mere moment after they left, Kumasawa ran into the parlor. Since she wasn't the kind of person to run around, it would be normal to sense that something had happened, but since everyone has been stricken by that earlier shock, none of them took any notice of this trivial difference. Something else bad happening? Madam! If you're looking for Natsuhi-san, she went to see father. She'll probably be back soon. What happened, Kumasawa-san? There is the dining hall. Blood! Everyone in the parlor turned to listen. Everyone thought the same thing. I hope I misheard that. Just like how any container has a limit to how much you can put in it. No one felt like they could accept any more tragedies beyond that had already happened. So they all thought it. I hope I misheard this. What? In the dining hall? When I went to the dining hall to set up for breakfast. Oh. The first to start running was George. Why, George? His harsh footstep jogged Hideyoshi and Nanjo to their senses, and they chased after him. Butler and the others followed, even Maria. They flew into the dining hall one after another, but they didn't find any change that would have caused Kumasawa to go pale. To those who had viewed the guest house scene in a storehouse, it was a bit of an anticlimax. However, Kumasawa, who had followed them, pointed it out. There really was some traces of blood on the floor. Compared to the terrible scene, it was not very dramatic. However, if you calmly thought about it, this definitely indicated the loss of a lot of blood. Okay, so indirectly confirms that people were killed in the mansion. At least somebody was killed in the mansion and then transferred to the warehouse. It's not called warehouse. How is it called? Tool house? Whatever. There is a puddle of blood here as well. What in the world? It appears that a great deal of time has passed. It's probably safe to say that they were killed here last night. It would seem to mean that we've been taken together in a dining hall until late tonight. Can they? They can, right? check whose blood it was? It was a police interference? For sure. After that, someone must have broken in. Father, when did you two yourselves... Father, when did you two let ourselves out of the meeting and go to sleep? It was a little past midnight. It was a little past midnight. So, sometime after that, it probably when it happened. Christ, I can't take this. Milady, stay strong. Hehehe. After seeing that hell on earth in the storehouse, it's called storehouse, I think I can handle this much. I mean, it's just blood. Really? Great for you. I feel like my head's gonna friggin' explode. This is a dining hall, you know. This is where every day I would eat, complain about school, complain about homework, talk to dad about my grades. That's the place is to me. Milady, it would be good to remain here. It wouldn't be good to remain here any longer. Let's return to the parlor. I agree. Uncle Hideyoshi, I think this room will be really important to the police. Don't you think it would be bad if we trumped over... Who are these people? Why is it so calm? If somebody I like died, I would fucking be distracted and devastated for a couple of days. Even with people I don't really like dying, I'm still like insanely upset. What is this? What is this reactions? I mean, there was a bunch of emotionally repressed children, but I still would think that you would grieve more realistically and a little bit more. Don't you think it would be better if we tramped all over it? Butler proposes in a slightly powerful voice. Together with Cannon, he grabbed the pail and shaking Jessica's shoulder. Everything is just as Butler's son said. There is nothing more to be gained from remaining in this room. Nanji spoke while looking at the pale faces all around. Even though that horrible scene in the storehouse had felt like something not of this world, at least it was in a place far from here, a place that had been able to cut herself off and run away from, which had helped everyone to keep on going. However, this dining hall was different. It was in Mansion's main wing. And as Jessica had said, it was supposed to be one of those more relaxing places within Mansion. It was the same place where all of the relatives had enjoyed lunch and dinner yesterday. The shock of seeing the place smeared with blood reminded us of that horrible spectacle in the storehouse, and forced us to accept that we really hadn't been able to run away from the scene of the tragedy. Yeah, I agree too. The killer might have left traces in this room. Amateur like us shouldn't stir up the place. Let's leave it quick. Come on, come on! Ryoshi also understood the meaning of what Butler had said and pushed everyone to hurry out of the dining hall. The way we were then, looking at blood any longer would have been too harsh. Nobody went against his words. Everyone raced each other out of the dining hall, almost as though the last person in the room would be trapped in here, all alone. This is awful. Once in the hallway, we lent a shoulder to Kumasawa, who was leaning against the wall still trembling, and we all headed back to the parlor together. Then Genji returned. Oh, Genji-san, were you able to contact the police? I can only offer my sincerest apologies. Whether it was failure of the radio or something else that caused it, I cannot tell, but... What? You can't reach the police? You tried the phone and the radio and both failed? My apologies. A boat will be arriving on Monday morning and I believe we will be able to borrow their communication equipment. Isn't there a boat in this island? Can we just take a little trip out to the Nijima Police Department? Hideyoshi-san, that would be impossible with this weather. At very least, we can do anything until the typhoon passed by us. Crowsam's boat is being repaired and is not on the island, therefore convenient. Therefore, I'm afraid we have no option but to wait for Monday's boat. How could it happen? 6 people are dead. The phones and radio aren't working and there is no boat. So until the typhoon passes and the boat comes until tomorrow morning, we just have to stay here on the island, unable to even contact the police. You forgot that killer is here, actually, too. Which means that not just us, but the criminal who killed everyone is also confined to this island. That certainly follows. The culprit who killed everyone is still here on the island. So the bastard who killed Dad and others can't get off this island and we still hiding somewhere? Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it! I'll find you, you bastards! You think I'll hand you over to the police? I'll tear you to shreds myself. Maria had finally realized that something was odd in the parlor. Or rather than noticing something odd, it was probably better to say that she felt unhappy and neglected since everyone was getting so excited about something only she didn't know about. Jessica Oni-chan, did someone die? The way she spoke was completely calm, just as though she was talking about character in a TV drama, as though it didn't affect her at all. Jessica probably didn't like that. As though trying to say, "Can you tell just by looking at me?" Overwhelmed with grief, she flared up against Maria. They all died! Everyone! Everyone! My dad, Butler's mother and father, Gora-san and Shannon, and even your mother too! Stop it, Jessica-chan! You aren't the only one who said! Maria-san, I know this will come as a shock, but please listen. Your mother has died. Mama is dead? Yes, someone killed her. I know it's sad, but stay strong. How many people died? 6 people. 6! Shit! How could you do something so cruel? There's no limit to how cruel you can be if you're a human. I don't know who it is, but the killer is not human. There's no way their blood is red. Killer is not human. Just chosen by the... Huh? Hey, Maria, did you just say something? Maria had just said something, but since the words are so remotely separated from the flow and context of a conversation for a second, I thought I couldn't understand them. As I was about to ask her to repeat it, I was shocked by the silent sound of Aunt Natsuhi's loud voice coming from the entrance to the parlor. It looked like Aunt Natsuhi and Aunt Eva. Why is Natsuhi is an aunt, but Eva is an auntie? Bias had returned from the trip to see grandfather. You can't contact with the radio? If we can't use it at a time like this, why do we even have an emergency radio? My apologies. I believe it was having annual maintenance inspection, but... Wait, what about one of those boats signing... What about one of those boat signal devices where you can flicker the lights on and off? Couldn't you use something like that to contact next island? We do not have such equipment. My apologies. Just then, Kumasawa came pushing a serving cart loaded with breakfast. Since there was no way we would be able to eat in a dining hall, Hideyoshi has ordered her to bring it to the parlor. Why are we eating breakfast here? Oh, she doesn't know. Natsuhi-san, I'll tell you later. More importantly, Eva, how was father? Judging by the fact that he is not with you, he won't even listen to you, isn't he? He isn't here. The room was empty. What the witch of the painting? Good son. What the... Where could he have gone at times like this? Did you say that the master has left his study? There's probably a lot of hidden passages through the mansion, for sure, right? I wonder if I should account for that. That's right, I'm as surprised as you. I wonder when he left his room. Do either of you have any idea? Not see you look at Genji and Kanan as she said this. Well, he probably left the room before you... Before you left him, right? She probably thought that the servants permitted the one-winged eagle who served directly under him would know of a place he might go. So he had like an hour and a half or something of a period where he could be... when he could have left. She probably thought that yeah. However, it seemed to be other way around. Their faces made it clear that those who knew Kinzo best realized even more that... time to go. See ya, thank you for watching.